Check 1 2 1 2, bitch.
Yo.
What up?
This is episode 179.
179
of the iLLogical Sense podcast. This is your boy Busby.
Give me a hell yeah!
And over here is your boy JC No
And Martin.
Yo, what the fuck is up, guys?
Happy 420, motherfuckers.
Happy 420,
right.
baby.
Yeah, man. Spark up, light up. Stand up for your rights.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's in your house, not like them fucking. Just don't be like the MAGA niggas in fucking Sacramento.
Ah, shit.
Fucking idiots.
They can't even call it MAGA. It's everybody, man.
Well, everybody, they're all
For
fucking
real.
idiots. It's idiots.
Yeah.
But
All
it's like a
creeds and
small.
colors.
It's like a small portion of it. When I saw like the drone shot of it, it's only like, it looked like it's only like 50 people, but those 50 people can spread it. So it's like,
Yep.
alright, whatever, niggas.
Spread it into 50 different areas with more than 50 different people at a time.
And 50 different area codes with all the fucking hoes. Fucking
Yeah.
idiots. Anyway, it's not drift on that shit. That was y'all 420.
Man, I'm going to tell you like this. My entire week has been fantastic.
Really?
I only worked twice last week.
You made how much?
No, I only worked 2 days last week.
Oh, damn.
I was focused on. I was forced to take 3 days off because I had to get the car repaired. Which shout out to RepairSmith, round of applause to them. I qualified and I was under that $500 coverage for the repair, and all I needed to do immediately was just get my battery changed. And then so they swapped out my battery, and then they gave me a complimentary oil change.
Nice.
So I did that, and then they replaced the battery in my fob key, which I desperately needed. So that helped out tremendously.
Well, that sounds cool. My black ass, I worked, central shit, as always.
Yep.
And I pretty much stayed in the house and just binge shit. Of course, Insecure, and, I actually just couldn't wait for Saturday. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get to Saturday.
But before we get to Saturday, let's just give one round of applause for our culture this week, because our culture ran shit this week in every single imaginable way.
Really? Oh yeah, the culture really did a lot of shit. we literally broke the internet, or we showed the IG servers that the culture runs this shit.
Right.
And it was great. Like, first it was the fuckery and the greatness of Teddy Riley and Babyface, and then it was ESPN finally showing The Last Dance documentary. It was, they call it the Michael Jordan doc, but practically it's the Bulls documentary. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Insecure dropped, like you said, and then just music in general, man.
Yeah, a lot of great music did drop, man.
Yeah. So, but like you said, let's start off to where it all began.
Just to let you know, JC, you sound hella muffled.
It'll sound fine when it's recorded.
Okay. Like, it doesn't, pretty much we can, barely, it sounds really just muffled on all end.
I don't know. I'm trying to fix it, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that all the audio stuff goes. So hopefully it'll come back. But I gotta record all this stuff.
We live, people.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Anyway, so Martin, you didn't see the fuckery, huh?
Bro, I was just working and working.
Work.
Shit.
Work.
I didn't have time for shit, bro, to be honest with you.
Well,
Just working and smoking.
I guess.
That's
So,
the way to go.
so on Saturday, it was the main event. It was the main event of Teddy Riley versus Babyface for the Verzuz, you know, presented by Swiss Beats and Timberland. So I was excited. Like that Saturday, I was extremely excited for this shit. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is really about to happen. I woke up, I exercised, I went out for a walk. I was just like, shit. I was listening to Teddy Riley and Babyface playlist and shit. Like I was like, okay, this is going to be fire. But then in the back of my mind, I was thinking, Teddy, don't fuck this up. That's what I was thinking to myself. Like I was thinking, but I was like, well, Babyface is in it, so it's like, all right, this is cool. So, you know, I was looking at the time. I'm like, oh shit, it's about that time. So then, you know, Teddy Riley was live. So then I go on Teddy's IG live, and then I see microphones, and then I see a DJ setup. He has like a whole Coachella like setup, and I was like,
yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, it looked like a setup from the concert he did with Blackstreet a couple weeks ago when he first announced the shit.
That's pretty much what it looked like. So I was like, okay. I was like, okay. But then I thought about T-Pain's. I remember T-Pain and Lil Jon, and T-Pain kind of had that kind of not like his setup, but you know he was kind of extravagant with it. Same with fucking Premier and RZA. So I'm like, okay, you know he's trying to put on a show. So okay, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. So. You know, so first Babyface. First, it was just two old niggas trying to figure out Instagram Live. It's just,
which is always funny.
Yeah, like, man.
Sincerely, it's always fucking funny. Like the older generation technology just does not mix at all. It's hilarious. Yeah,
because they were trying to figure out how to get on each other's live and all types of shit, and it was just like, that's just fucking annoying, man. So then. They finally get on live together, baby. Like, first of all, Teddy Riley, this nigga. This motherfucker had a whole setup, and there was hella people in there. Like, he's not even practicing social distance at all.
Oh, for real.
There was hella people in there. He had a DJ set up. He had drums. He had, like, literally a live band in there. And I'm like, he ain't practicing social distance at all. I was like, why can't he just have a laptop and just, you know, do it there? But, all right, whatever. So then, you know, you see Babyface, and he's just in a studio in a nice little velour suit, and he's just chilling.
Motherfucker showing up with candles too.
Yeah, with candles, and he was just chilling. And he had a little microphone and his headphones, but he was just chilling. You could tell he was showing his age too, even though he didn't look. He just turned what, 62?
62
ish. 52 or 62?
Okay, no, he turned 62 last week.
Wow, he didn't look 62. He didn't look 62 at all.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah. Black don't crack, bruh. So yeah, so he comes on, and they're trying to figure out the sound, and then you start hearing an echo on Teddy's side, and he goes and says, like, Babyface, they're saying it's from you, and you know, Babyface, like, I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. But and I'm looking at this like, okay, let's get this shit situated. I'm like, all right. So then, no, what'd you say?
No, I said that was just the funniest shit about it is you could tell everything was going on Teddy's side of everything. But they kept saying, hey, Babyface, it's your mic. And he's just like, no, I ain't doing anything.
Pretty much.
It was about, what? At any given moment, it was about 330,000 of us that were stressed and upset. And Babyface wasn't one of them.
He was just chilling. He was calm. He was very calm. Yeah. So, anyway, so after that, like, they finally got set up and shit like that. So then, I guess... Teddy Riley went first, and he had a whole setup. Like, what was the first song he played?
He started with Dougie Fresh's The Show.
Yeah, The Show. But it would sound cool, but then all of a sudden he had like a whole DJ set. It was like a whole intro, and it sounded like a concert setup. And I was just like, why are you doing all this? This is too much. And he had like a hype man in the background, and then it was just like, it was too much. He was doing too much. And then what made it worse is that you could barely hear it. And it was echoing. It was echoes.
It was a fucking echo.
Yeah,
it wasn't Babyface's side. It was the echo.
Pretty much. And I'm just like, I was like, okay, this is doing too much. So then, you know, Babyface returned, and what was it? I only mess with you on two occasions. Yeah, then he came back with
just
that. And all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's 1-0. And then fucking Teddy Riley came back, and you still hear the echoes. He's still having technical difficulties. And then he did another. What was the other song he did?
I forgot because all I know is Babyface countered with 2 Uncle Bobby Brown songs, and at that point I was like, it don't even matter what's wrong with his audio. He's down 3-0 anyway. So
yeah, it was 3-0 at that point, and then after that,
JC, bro.
no, seriously, it was 3-0.
No,
It was 3-0.
I believe it.
And then what made it worse is that you see when you look in the comments, you see a who's who of the industry was in there. You saw Tamara Jackson, you saw Mariah Carey, you saw Jermaine Dupri, you saw Diddy, you saw every it was
Tony.
a who's. I said Tony Braxton. Everybody was in there.
But then you saw Tamara Braxton was even in too. Tamara Braxton was getting more pissed than Tony, and Tony was the one that was talking all the shit. So that was even more funny.
Oh yeah, so then it just got to the point where the audio really just got fucked up on what's his name on Teddy's side, and I was getting irritated. Like I was texting JC, like this nigga pissing me off, like and he was legit pissing me the fuck off. Cause like nigga, you're wasting my goddamn time. Even though we have all the time in the world right now.
Bro, you're getting mad about wasting time, like
even though
it was nothing but time.
No, it was just like it was the point that it was just like the principle of it. Like you motherfucker, really? And the thing is, I knew this. I had a feeling this was going to happen, and it happened, and I was pissed, and I was getting pissed because I knew what was happening. So then, after that, like
pissed. I was laughing my ass off. My mom was out laughing. Larissa came over. She was cracking up. Cleo and I were texting each other, just laughing. Cleo's mom was clowning the shit out of him, talking about whose man's is this?
Seriously. I'm like, this nigga recorded. I got so mad. This nigga recorded "Dangerous," man. I'm like, really, bro? Like, they got to the point. I was talking to someone on Twitter like, this nigga gonna play because he had like a microphone set up so he could just talk in auto-tone and shit. And it got to the point where I was going like, this nigga gonna play "Remember the Time" to do Michael's ad libs that weren't even supposed to be there. And I was like, nigga was all going like, yeah, Westside Gunn ad libs and shit. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
You know, I was going. You know, it would have been. No, I would have been like, fuck all that. So it was just getting worse and worse. And then after that, you see Teddy just getting irritated. Like he has his hands on his hips, and he just turns around. He just turns around and shit. And I'm going like, what is going on? So then he leaves.
Well, see, what happened was too. What made it even more funny because then at that point, Swiss and Timbaland they started sending comments just like, "Yo, we gotta figure this shit out because this is not sounding good." And
Swiss
then what made
just said, "Shut it down."
What had me cracking up the most was that Teddy's boy comes back to the screen like, "We gonna get this figured out. Give us 30 minutes." And it was like, "Fam, we already an hour and a half in. What are you talking about?"
Bro. And then, especially Tyrese in the comments when he said, "Throw in the tile."
Yeah.
He wrote, "Throw in the tile." He meant to put tile.
Somebody
but
did
he wrote
this.
Tile.
Yeah.
Tile.
Good job, brother.
And it was just fuckery. So then,
like when everybody was ready to blame Teddy Riley for all of it, here comes Tyrese right on time, just being Tyrese.
what you said, Jody was just being Jody. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
So after that, like Teddy had his fucking arms crossed, and he was not arms crossed, but he had his hands on his hips and turned around and shit like that because he played another song, but it was still muffled and just you couldn't hear shit. So then he kind of leaves, and then his cronies come in. His crony come in and goes on the mic and says, "Yeah, everybody, we gonna take a 30-minute break." Hold up, what? We're gonna take a 30-minute break and be right back. I was like, nigga, what? I threw my Canada Dry at the wall. I'm like, what? I was just pissed. And then within like 10, and I guess within 5-10 minutes, Babyface goes back on his Facebook and says, "You know what, guys?" Really calm. He's like, "You know what, guys? Let's just do this another day. You know, everything's just messed up. We have to get it right. So let's just do this the other day." And my God, everybody was pissed off. Everybody.
You know what was funny to me? While I was laughing
fucking
at that
Tony
so hard?
Braxton. Tony Braxton was on. I didn't know she was a Twitter. I didn't know she tweeted like that. She was getting gifts and everything. She was like one of us. She was going in on Teddy, and then she was going in on Teddy. Mariah Carey was pissed off, dude. On IG Live, Swizz and Timbaland go on have an emergency IG Live meeting, going like, "Yeah, man, it's just less is more. We shouldn't have it like this. I had to tell them to shut it down." Da 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 da. And then fucking, I saw Young Guru, Jay-Z's engineer. He was pissed. It was just. Man, I was mad. I was pissed. I was so close.
I was laughing my ass off the entire time. You know what made it more funny to me, though? It was the fact that Babyface showed up late, ran 3 songs, was up 3-0 at that time and still was able to get off in time to watch the 10 o'clock news down in Atlanta. Like,
pretty much.
That's what made it more funny to me, which was he was late. He still came in.
It was like
7:30.
Yeah, ended like at 7:30, so that's like 10:30 Atlanta time. So he could have literally watched the 11 o'clock news at that time, got in his pajamas, and just chilled. He just got over the fucking virus too.
Oh, for real.
Yeah. But see, now it makes sense why I understand why you were completely pissed off. You had a whole fucking triathlon getting ready for this battle.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot, and I was just pissed. So then, within, I think it was the next day. No. So then, within hours, people figured out why Teddy Riley's shit was fucked up, because this motherfucker was streaming on his own website at the same time. Sneaky.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
He was being very, very sneaky. He didn't tell nobody about it, because if you go on when you go on his Instagram page, he did not tell no one to go on the website at all. He said the after party is on TeddyRileyLive.com, but he didn't highlight the website. He didn't put the stamp wasn't on the logo or nothing. He didn't promote it or nothing. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I did my research and I looked up this streaming platform, and it is just like, really, it has barely over 1,000 people. Teddy Riley's the only person that follows it. I look at the website. The website has potential, but it's a no. And it's just like, dude. And then when you look on the footage of what he was doing, he was being hella sneaky. He had a whole production. And the sound quality was good. There was editing. He was doing too much.
It sounded amazing.
Yeah. And he was trying to multi-stream from his iPad and that website. And then, mind you, on Instagram Live, there was almost like 400,000 people were in there at one time. It peaked at like 400,000 until the fuckery happened. Yep. So I was pissed. I was ready to go on here and start going on a whole rant about this nigga, because he pissed me the fuck off. Wasted my damn time during the pandemic, which I could have been watching other shit. I could have been doing shit like taking a nap. I was so mad I nearly called into work just so I could work for 2 hours.
Wow. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get my mask, get my gloves. Nigga.
You stupid.
That's dude.
Wilding.
Oh
that
man,
shit was funny as oh my god, it was funny.
I was about to delete tracks off Dangerous. I was about to delete all the Teddy Riley tracks off Dangerous. That's how mad I was. Okay? Give a damn. I was mad. I didn't even want to listen to Remember the Time. I didn't want to listen to none of that. I was mad. I was big mad. And I ain't afraid to say it. So then the next day,
I had a good old time. I laughed it all off. The jokes were flying on Twitter, and then they were, going all over.
We forgot the quote of the night.
Period.
We've got the quote of the day from Babyface when he says, like, "Oh, how you doing? How you doing, Babyface?" Why, like Teddy Riley's trying to figure out everything with his whole group. He's like, "Oh, I'm just chilling, social distancing." I'm just here chilling, social distancing and all that. The fuck? I'm here alone by myself, social distancing and all that. The fuck? Because I'm telling you, Teddy had a whole crew up in his house because he doesn't really believe in the whole shit. He's a 5G believer. So...
He's a 5G believer.
He is. He said it in an interview. Yeah, he talked about it in an interview with Charlamagne.
What the fuck? I thought you were joking.
No, I'm being dead ass serious. He really believes that shit. Well, yeah.
The irony of all that is he's the one that believes it, but Babyface is the one that got it. Like, ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. Whatever. So then after that, the next day.
So next day happened. Swiss Beats came on and said, all right, we got it all squared away. We talked to both. And we are going to have it scheduled for Monday for 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I'm like, that is perfect timing because that is right before we record our podcast anyway. So what a great way to go into the pod. And as much of a shit show that I fully enjoyed on Saturday, boy, was it worth it to just get to the actual battle that we just got done witnessing, because that was a clash of the titans.
Oh yeah, of course. Because when he did it first, I was just like, okay, let's just do this. So either this is either going to be great or this is going to be more fuckery. Either I'm going to be very happy or I'm going to be even more pissed off. So either way,
what'd you end up being?
I ended up enjoying myself.
Exactly, because why sometimes certain
you.
shit is just worth all the bullshit. Sometimes certain things are just worth it.
my time, no. But Saturday
Yeah,
wasn't worth it. But today was great. This Monday was great. Well, niggas, the fuck, you ain't got shit to do. So then I was just like, well, fuck it.
You see how he contradicts
I keep saying that.
No, for real, yeah.
I keep saying that.
One minute he'd be like, nah, you wasting my time. I ain't got time to be wasted like this. And the next thing is like, nah, I got nothing but time. We ain't got shit to do.
For
like,
real.
Draw a line in the sand and pick a side.
Nah, I keep it very inconsistent when it comes to shit like that. I done told you this. Anyway, so then, the battle, the real battle, because actually this time Teddy Riley he was in his studio by himself. And
no, he wasn't by himself, but he had a whole lot of less people there.
He still had people there, I was just like, okay. And everyone was telling him, don't touch nothing. Just, like I said, everyone in the comments said, don't touch nothing. Because there were times during it, he kept trying to move around and shit and fucking up his phone and shit. And it was like, dude, just chill. So then, it happened. And it was just organic. And it got to the point where I wanted to, like, score. I was trying to keep score. But then it just got to the point where I just didn't care. And I just enjoyed the fucking music. It was great. It was absolutely great. Even though it ended abruptly. Because it got to the point where one funny part, especially Babyface, his little shade and transitions, them shits were fucking hilarious. Like the part where, because there was a time where he was like, "Oh, that's cool," and all of a sudden he takes out a fucking guitar.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And starts singing part. "When Can I See You Again?"
Yeah, there was another part where he looked at Teddy and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you did that. See, I'm gonna tell the story real quick." Then he tell the story and then he goes, and then it just goes into this, and then he played this song.
He's like, "Oh, Michael Jackson."
And then Teddy played a remix of one of his songs.
"I Get Lonely."
Face was like,
no. That was Janet's remix. Blackstreet. I know exactly what remix it was. It was the "I Get Lonely" Blackstreet remix, and that's why Teddy.
No, he was talking about the Janet remix.
Huh?
He was talking about the "I Get Lonely," the "I Get Lonely" Janet remix.
Yeah, the Blackstreet remix, because Blackstreet was on there, and he was all, and Babyface was all like, "Oh, you did that? Oh, you doing remixes? Oh, well, that's cool. I don't do remixes."
No, he said, "I didn't know we could do remixes," which I had to give credit to Teddy because I was like, "Ooh, Face, that means you ain't been watching because we remixes are definitely allowed in this motherfucker." So he threw some shade, but it was shade that I was like, that's not gonna fly with me, buddy, because we've been doing remixes.
No, he's saying, "Oh, we can't. I didn't know that we were allowed to do remixes. That's fine. I don't do remixes." And then he just plays his original shit. It was, it was a shade.
That's tight.
Which was wild though, because he actually did play a remix because every little step is a remix because the album version sounds a hell of a lot different than the actual single. Like, it's actually remixed.
So the single is the Babyface version.
No, both of them are the Babyface version, but the one that got pushed as the single it's a remix version.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
and it was funny. He got to the point where he got in his.
Those aren't the same.
It was funny because he got into his soundtrack bag. He's like, "Oh, I know you gonna play that. Okay, I didn't want to do this." But yeah, soundtrack bag. He's like, "Yeah, this is soundtrack vibes," and he just plays something from the Boomerang soundtrack. It was just he went the album cuts. And then he had time where he edited the tracks so he could get the bridge in there. Like he was playing "Can We Talk," and he got Teddy, and he got what's his name, Tevin Campbell's bridge on that. I was like, "Oh, you put the bridge on here? Oh, you fucker! That ain't fair."
Yeah, nah, there was a select few rounds where I was just like, "Yo, these are two dudes literally just." If this is basketball, as soon as one shoots a three down the court, another one just comes down and dunks it, and vice versa. Like round three, Martine. Round three was Teddy played "Just Got Paid," and then Babyface countered with "Rock Steady." That was round three. Like, Jesus criminy. And then it got to round five, like, threw me for a loop. Because round five was "Piece of My Love" versus "Ready or Not," and I was like, damn, they throwing haymakers at this point. And then just when I thought that, so this is what I actually like that Teddy did, because I think they actually should start doing this down the line. Teddy, in the second half of the battle, he actually took it to football rules, where it was, okay, if I'm going first for the first half, let's just switch, so that way it's the second half of the battle, you do your songs first, and then I counter the songs. So, because the way I had it scored in the first half, Babyface was whooping his ass. Like, I'm just gonna call it for what it was. Like it wasn't close after a while. Babyface was putting
I
them
guess.
balls on him.
It was even for me. It was even on both sides. I mean, for you, maybe.
Yeah,
to me,
for me, right when
for
they went
you,
into,
it was like competition.
I guess it was.
For
I'm not
me,
gonna say it
it
wasn't.
was
I'm
just
not gonna
like,
say it was a hardcore ass whooping, but by the end of round 9, it looked like it was gonna start getting ugly because I had it 6-3 Babyface.
My God, see. I just stopped forgetting about the rounds. I was just like, man, fuck the rounds. Let's just enjoy the damn music. And they were both just like, it was just great on both ends. It was just like, yes, just damn. It was like, it was like this face after this face, like,
Yeah. So,
yes.
like I said, the first half is when the first half was when Babyface had it, but I liked how the Teddy's, what he was like, okay, you go first and then I'm a counter. Because once he did that, to me on my scorecard, that's when Teddy started coming back and he was able to start countering. Like, bro, there's no way going into, like, when Face did round 13 and then he starts pulling out his guitar and he starts playing When Can I See You live acoustic, I'm like, oh no, he's got this in the bag. Like, it's a wrap. And then Teddy comes back and counters with Before I Let You Go. And I'm like, bro, how the hell did he just steal this round? Like, he literally just stole the round. And then round 14, the one after that, Whip Appeal comes on. And so, I've never told you guys this. I am a huge fan of the harmonies on Whip Appeal. Like, to me, Whip Appeal has arguably the best harmonies ever. So, in my mind, I'm like, okay, Whip Appeal, like, he's got it. Like, what can Teddy do at this point? There's not much. And then Teddy comes through with Let's Chill. And I'm like, well, score that one for Teddy, because ain't much to that after.
I remember it got to the point where he was just playing all the ballads, and then Teddy was all going like, no, Teddy was like, yeah, I gotta just take it back to the clubs, and then he just plays Michael Jackson's In the Closet. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. And the crazy thing is, when he got into his Michael bag, I thought he wouldn't have went to Remember the Times, but he was playing damn near all the tracks from Dangerous, all the well-known tracks, like In the Closet, Jam, and he played the SWV track. That was like the first track, but I was just like, okay. I was like, I would have thought he would got into his Remember the Time bag, but you know, it is what it is.
The 6th round was special. 6th round was when Teddy played High Five, the Kissing Game, and then Babyface countered with Every Little Step. Like, even though for me that's a landslide, like I'm going Bobby all day. Like, the fact that those two went up against each other, that was incredible. I love the song The Kissing Game. Like, that's my shit. So the fact that it put it up like against arguably one of my favorite R&B songs, period. I was like, I actually had to think about it just for a 1/10 of a second. Like, shit. No, I'm going Uncle Bobby. But this is close. I like this.
Man, it was just like I said with me. I was keeping score of it. I was like, why am I keeping score of this? This is great. Like, this is just literally great music. Either way, I love this shit. I was like, I love this. This is great because this is exactly what it should have been on Saturday. That's exactly what it should have been. It was just great. And man, the playlist
you say that, and everybody would definitely want it. But I think what happened on Saturday made me appreciate this, seeing it earlier tonight. Like, it made me appreciate it that much more because it was like the simple fact of this is what I knew had the potential, but at the same time, we ended up getting laughs out of it on Saturday, and just it turned into, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I wasn't even upset by thinking about, oh, this should have been on Saturday. It was like, nah, this is why we were all pissed off on Saturday, to witness this moment right here, because it was worth it in the end. It was beautiful. It was a great battle.
It was the worst. I don't even call it a battle. It was like a teaching session. It was like a teaching moment for R&B artists to just realize this is what music is. Like, this is what music is. This is what it should be. You know, this is how it is to sing about love and just sing about just enjoying yourself. You know, so that's pretty much what it was, and I just loved it. It was like you said, it was like what happened on Saturday was a classic Black Twitter moment. That was one of those moments that we're all gonna remember for like forever. Like that was
you pinpoint exactly where you were when that shit happened. Like that's a story that you tell the next generation.
That's going to be a moment. That's a moment in time. And then on Monday, all was like this time, like over 400,000 people showed up on that IG Live on Saturday. On this past Monday, almost 500,000 people were on IG Live, and it literally crashed the servers. It crashed the servers.
Serious?
Yeah, like people tried to get in and they couldn't get in.
Yeah, it peaked at 501,000. 501,000 is where it peaked.
Yeah, and then people tried to get in and they couldn't get in. Like, it literally would say, we have trouble loading this IG Live. Come back again. Come back later.
That is fucking crazy.
That was fucking wild.
My God.
They stunted so hard that when they had to... Because you know how IG Live, it only lasts for an hour? When you do the duo. They stunted so hard that after the 18th round, they couldn't even get back on each other's lives. That's how bad... Like, that's how much ruckus they caused on the damn platform. They couldn't even get back on each other's IG Live, so they had to finish out the rounds just doing their song solo. And then
it wasn't even rounds, man. They just got to the jam. It was just jamming. At that point, they was just jamming. They were just playing records. They were just trying to wait, and they couldn't see each other. They couldn't request because, like you said, they crashed the fucking shit. So yeah, so then I saw Teddy Riley. He was on his live, and he was just playing a fucking extended version of Michael Jackson's. He was just going on a Michael Jackson medley. That's what he was doing. And then fucking Babyface went on his acoustic guitar and just played melodies, and he's just playing some of his greatest Lucy's that won Grammys and shit. So
yeah, his throwaways
that he didn't use in the battle. So it was just great. It was great, and then Dr. Dre called Teddy Riley, and you know they reflect. Teddy Riley was on his keyboard, just putting ad-lib music to Michael's music and vocals. It was that was great. That was just great. And then he played "Remember the Time" in the end. And it was like, oh, now you want to play it.
What I enjoyed the most about this battle was I was able to watch it with my mom, and like enjoy it with my mom. I said what I enjoyed most about this battle was I was able to sit and enjoy it with my mom, like just like look at my mom and be like, thank you for raising me on this music. I appreciate it wholeheartedly. And then there were certain,
I feel you.
Yeah, and then there were certain rounds I couldn't even pick. I just looked at my mom. I was like, what was the bigger one when you were at the clubs? And she would give me a breakdown of what song was doing what at the time. And she's like, nah, that one won the round. And I was like, cool, I'm going with your word. You were there, not me.
Shit. That's cool, dog.
I mean, that's cool. Hey, man, with me, like I said, my mom introduced me to both Teddy Riley and Babyface with their music. Like Babyface with the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, Teddy Riley all over the Dangerous album and New Jack Swing and shit. I mean, I wanted them to watch it, but they could really give a fuck. Like, I tell them about it. My mom was just like, the fuck, who cares? My aunt was just laughing about it. My grandma was like, I don't know what you talking about. I'm like, all right, so there goes that. I was like, all right, well, all right. So I'm just going to.
What you talking about?
Pretty much. So I was like, all right, well, shit. And I'm supposed to be, you guys supposed to be the old people. I'm the one enjoying this shit. I know all these damn songs for sure.
Right.
And it's funny when fucking Tevin Campbell was on Twitter and he was going like, yeah, just to let y'all know, Can We Talk is a stalking song. Like, it's about stalking, but hey, it works.
Somebody did this.
Yeah.
Shit.
I was like, he's drunk right now.
Yeah, I mean,
saying shit
it
he
works.
shouldn't be saying.
No, he's been on Twitter. He's been loose with the tweets. So he was like, fuck it. Tony Braxton was loving it. I thought he would play more Tony Braxton. He didn't even get into his Whitney bag. Babyface didn't even get into his Whitney Houston bag. That's the craziest shit about it.
He got into it at the end because one of the ones that counted was the joint with Whitney and Cece.
Yeah, I know, but that was when everything was just like already over with. So it was just
but honestly, both of them didn't even go into like their bag. Like, if you really think about it, they left a lot of shit that didn't get played.
Yeah, I know.
That's the wild thing about all of it. Is like they didn't even get into their bag.
He didn't give it to his Eric Clapton bag. He was like, well, who else did Teddy Riley produce for? And you know what's even more crazier is that Jay-Z has a track with Teddy Riley with what's it called? City Is Mine.
Yeah, and he also got a track with Babyface on that same album.
Yeah, let's not talk about that song. Yeah, I just started realizing, like, throughout all these battles, Jay-Z has been a factor in damn near a majority of these battles. He was in the Swizz Beatz and Timbaland battle. He was in the Boy Wonder and Hit Boy battle. He was he in the fucking, what was the battle? The RZA and DJ Premier battle?
But he wasn't in was the John and T-Pain battle.
And the fucking, what's it called? The Neo and fucking Dante Austin one.
Jonta.
Jonta Austin.
Jonta,
Keep
yeah.
saying Jonta. Yeah, but yeah, Jay-Z has been in a majority of those. That's fucking wild to think about. Mm-hmm. Huh. But round of applause for them niggas, man. I know, right?
For real.
Shit.
Yeah, like,
round of applause for them, man.
This was culture. This was beautiful.
That was
like,
beautiful.
This is what it was all about. They said, Martine, they said in total, so it was, they peaked at 501,000, but they said in total over 3 million people tuned in at some point. Like, shit was nuts.
That was nuts. It really was nuts. But yeah, that was those extravaganzas for the culture. That was on one side. That's music culture. So now we get to the other culture, the sport culture. I mean, this could still be the culture too. It's, you know, it's Michael fucking Jordan. He is culture. We have night one. I mean, you can't even call it part one. We have night one of the Last Dance, aka the Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan documentary that documents literally the final season of the original team. And boy, lay off the gunshots.
Yeah, what's up?
That was
waiting, baby.
We all been waiting, baby.
Aren't you glad I put it into the universe and you was, you know?
I told you to be patient. I told you to be patient. All I told you was to be patient. I wasn't rushing nothing. I just told your ass to be patient.
But
and it's
happy that it came sooner?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone should be happy when they come sooner. That's what she said.
But aren't you happy? We ain't talking about everybody else. We talking about you.
Yeah. Dude, I told your asses I'm patient. I am patient. I've been happy if it would have came now, or been happy if it showed up in June. Either way, whatever. It's here. Anyway.
But the way you was talking, your weekend got fucked up because of Teddy Riley.
For real.
All because
my Saturday got messed up. No. Different. There's a difference.
Like you
my Saturday got messed up because of that. My Saturday night and my enjoyment, the principle, got messed up. Sunday was great. I watched The Last Dance and Insecure. But like I've told you, when it came to The Last Dance, all I kept telling you was to be patient about it, and it will show up when it shows up. Now it's here. But anyway, this was just, they only showed 2 parts, but man, it flew by. They talked about a lot of shit. But
so
first
much
off,
information in such a short amount of time, and they have barely scratched the surface. That's what's crazy about it.
What's the GM's name?
Jerry Krause.
So, yeah, Bring your ass to the stand. Bring your ass
now,
to the stand. Somebody did this.
As of now, we basically, I mean, the story centers around Jordan, of course. Like, he's the one that's had all the footage and all that. He's the one that came up and said, all right, it's time to do it. So it's always going to center on Jordan. But they also have Scottie, Phil, Steve Kerr, a lot of people. Yeah, Rodman, but he hasn't done much yet. Like, it's kind of been filtered in and out. They actually had Bill Wennington in more than he had Rodman, which was funny to me.
It's still the first half. It's still early.
Yeah, no, but it's like, but if you understand what I'm saying, Bill Wennington was Bill Wennington. Like, he wasn't a household name. That's what made it all funny. Like, I would have thought we would have heard more from Ron Harper and Tony Kukoc by now. That's where I'm getting at.
Side note, Kenan and Kel made y'all believe that the city of Chicago wanted to kill them for injuring Ron Harper. Just wanted to put that out there. Not Jordan, not Rodman. Not Jordan, not Rodman, not Pippen, but Ron Harper.
Hey, man, Ron Harper.
Well, yeah, Ron Harper was important. Ron Harper had defense, and it was his job to get the ball to Jordan.
Don't talk sweet about Ron Harper, though.
But would the whole city want to kill you? But would the whole city want to kill you over that? Over him?
At that time, probably.
Yeah, because you're fucking with a bull.
They made you believe that shit. I was like, word. All right.
Well, no, you gotta understand. It's not just that. Like, even though the whole story is fictional, like, we get it. But the whole premise of it was you fucked with a bull who, Bulls were untouchables. That's what it was. Anybody that had a Bulls jersey or was in the organization, they were an untouchable. That's how it was presented. And it was true.
If it was Jordan, they would have they would have lit that
they would have been dead. They would have been dead. Like, they wouldn't have made it.
Minutes.
Yeah. In seconds.
For real.
But anyway.
Yeah, there would have been no more Kenan and Kel. It would have been Josh and Lori Beth. That would have been the new show.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but so then they had, well, of course, rest in peace to Jerry Krause. So they only had the footage of him, obviously, since he's no longer here, but then they have the owner Jerry Reinsdorf, so he's predominantly in it too, and just the disconnect from the front office to the players and the coaching staff was just like,
it was
how the fuck
wild.
did they manage? How did they get this done? Because there's no way in hell they would have got this done if social media was around. There's no way in hell.
Oh man, they wouldn't have got to that 6th ring. They would not have gotten to that if social media was around and First Take, Undisputed, all them fucking analyst shows were around. They wouldn't have gotten to that 6th ring. There would have been no chance because there was so much tension within that organization. First off, what's his name? How do you say his name again? Jerry what?
Krause.
Jerry Krause.
Jerry Krause. This man told Phil Jackson straight to his face that 98 was a 97-98 year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that year.
Well, let me set it up for you, Martin. They didn't even make it out of the 5th championship ring celebration. They didn't even leave the arena before the media started talking about what was rumbling from the front office about the 97-98 season. Like, they were at the press conference celebrating a fucking title, and they were getting asked, yeah, so what do you think about Jerry saying that this is going to be the end for you guys right now? Like, literally, like, wait, what the fuck? Nigga, we just won 20 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they were literally just questioning. They were literally just questioning Jordan about that whole season and shit like that. And Jordan was like, dude, we just won the fucking championship. Why are you questioning us about this right now? Like, are you serious? But this is what got me. Phil Jackson walked into that office and Jerry Christ, whatever his name is, Swackhammer. That's what we're going to call him. He's Swackhammer. Swackhammer told him flat out that this is your final season. I don't care if you go 82 and 0. This is it. And Phil Jackson was like, all right, and walked out. That's all he said. All right. And I'm like, what? My jaw dropped when I heard that shit. And then they showed the quote that fucking Jerry Christ said when he said that players don't win championships, organizations do. And I'm like, nigga, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that one, I don't know, man.
I don't know how the city of Chicago let that man. I don't know how the city of Chicago let that man walk. That
was one of my questions of the night on Twitter. It was like, how did he maneuver? And then somebody from Chicago, they were like, oh, because he was basically like a made man. He would flaunt his face like Joe Pesci, and nobody could do anything about it. And I was like, oh, well,
that makes sense.
That. Yeah,
all right.
Makes sense. I mean, they Bull fans did say, and they highlighted it on the documentary that he knew how to draft, he knew how to maneuver during the offseason. He knew how to get the right players and trade the right players just to build the right team. He knew talent and he knew how to build.
Oh so yeah, I want to make that very clear. Jerry Krause was no scrub at his job.
No sucker.
He was very prolific. The problem was that it was his ego. It had to be about him, and he had to be his way. Success.
Yeah, his way. He wanted the credit. He wanted the credit, not just Jordan, not Pippen, not Phil Jackson. He wanted the credit for building the fucking team. He wanted it, and if he couldn't have it, he was just like, fuck y'all. And what's even funnier is that Pippen and Jordan, they were just, mainly just Jordan, they were roasting him. No, it was both of them. They were roasting his ass on a daily. They were even, every time, like, you thought what Hardball said to fucking Jed York was fucked up? Jordan looked at they have it on footage. Jordan looked that man right in his eye and said, oh, you gonna do some layups? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's lower the rim for you. Because he's hella short. Said that to his face, and he didn't say nothing. He just looked at him. Like, what the fuck you gonna say to him?
We'll get into Pip in his entirety, but Pip was so fed up with him that he called him a fat fuck on the bus.
Yeah.
In front of everybody after a game. Like, he was just over his shit. Like, he just did. They just had no respect for him after a certain period.
No players had respect for him. That's what it came down to. Nobody had respect for him.
Yeah, it was just, we just have to deal with you because technically you're the person that is responsible for conducting what the roster ends up becoming. So we just have to continue putting up with you. But understand, you don't run shit, we run shit. And that's where the internal struggle happened.
It was wild. That was wild to see. But when it comes to this series, part one, and pretty much the whole premise is that they're highlighting the last series, but they're going back in time, showing when Jordan got drafted, showing his college years, showing when Jordan got drafted. They keep going back and forth and shit like that.
Basically, they're basically setting up who was Michael Jordan, because like I was telling you guys before we even started recording, it didn't dawn on me until I was watching this, like, oh wait, there's actually college kids that know nothing about this man and what he did. Like, they just don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what
pretty much.
That's what they did for this. That's what they did for the first 2 episodes. It was basically who is Michael Jordan, and then when you just get the insight of what makes him tick. In 2 episodes, I understand everything 100%. I now know why he is that so damn competitive. It started in his family.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much from his dad.
Yeah, his brother Larry was pretty much the golden child in his dad's eye. His dad would tell him go get a screwdriver, and he'd come back with a wrench, and he'd look Jordan or Michael in his eye and be like, "Boy, you ain't gonna be shit. Go in the house with your mama." Like, literally, just told him to his face. Like,
pretty much. It's probably he didn't slap the shit out of him. He would ridicule him and pretty much tell him to be at his best.
Yeah,
and it was just like, wow.
It was him. Yeah, it was him, his brother Larry, and then his other brother. I forget who his name was. They would get into fist fights in competition. Like, they all couldn't stand losing. It wasn't just him. His whole family, they can't stand losing. So they would get into fist fights afterwards. Like, I completely 100% understand where the hell he was coming from now. I totally get it.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, you hella just got like dark. Like it just didn't.
I didn't hear.
We were trying to be quiet because you were talking, and then it just got all staticky and shit.
Yeah.
We live, people.
I came back. But basically what I was saying was, I get it. Like, I understand why he's so competitive now. It's clearly understandable.
I mean, I kind of understood it from jump about who he was. It was just like, this is just who he is. It was encoded in him. I was like, duh. And then seeing how his family is, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Not to that extreme.
That's what I was about to say. Like, this gave examples, though. You guys are telling me.
We knew who he was. I knew he was competitive. Yeah. I just didn't know why.
Exactly. But you didn't know how.
That's why I'm getting at. Like, his dad literally told him, "You're not gonna be shit." Literally,
pretty
said
much.
it on camera.
Pretty much. And it was just crazy. And then it was just wild. And just seeing how he is, especially in his rookie year, how he really was just like an alien. He was literally an alien in his rookie year. It was just like, can you imagine if that Jordan came in this era in the NBA? He would still they'd be looking at him like, who the fuck is this motherfucker?
My favorite story from his rookie year was the traveling cocaine circus.
That was hilarious.
Boy, that was my favorite story from his rookie year.
What the fuck?
Motherfucker said they were on the road, walked up to one of his teammates' door. All of a sudden, he hears scrambling, like, "Oh, hide it!" And he was like, "Who is it?" He goes, "It's Mike." And they go, "Oh, it's just rookie. Let him in." Walked in there, said the whole team was doing cocaine.
Pretty much, there was coke here, there was weed, there was coke here, there was weed here, there was girls over here. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, bruh. It was. And Jordan was just laughing about it. Like, he was like, "Who told you that?" He said, "Was it accurate?"
He was like 5 drinks in at that point. Like, you could.
It was like Rick James status, and he was like, "Is it accurate?" He was like, "Well."
Yeah. And they was like, "Well, who did it?" And he goes, "Well, I didn't do it, but the whole team did it."
Pretty much, it was practically the whole. He just dry snitched on everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But there was some instances when I was watching this and I was seeing, like, I was kind of putting it on how other players are, like how Kobe is, how fucking who else was how Kobe was, and then I was trying to think who else would I see, like in Jordan. No, it was just Kobe. I was just like, that's how Kobe was. Kobe acted legit like Jordan, huh? And it was funny. Oh my god, it was funny looking on Twitter and seeing all the bronzexuals in their feelings. It was hilarious.
That is a sickness, like
they were
legitimate sickness. Like, I know they're in their feelings because they had the same expression as I did. We are only on episode 2 and we haven't even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, everything that Jordan was doing, and then how Jordan got the 63-point game when he scored 63 points in his sophomore year in the NBA. His sophomore year against the Celtics after breaking his fucking foot against the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and all them. And Larry Bird just said flat out, that wasn't Michael Jordan. That was Jesus. That was God dressed up as Michael Jordan.
One of the most famous NBA quotes just in history. Like that quote has floated around. That soundbite has just floated around ever since he said it. Like it's just, yeah. And then, but see, what I enjoyed too, like, shouts out to the editing, because what I enjoyed too is when he stepped foot on that court, the first thing you hear is LL Cool J's "I'm Bad," and the build up to him taking the first shot, and then it's just nothing but his highlights, and then "I'm Bad" playing in the background. Perfect. Yeah,
it was perfect. It was, and then they had "Don't Sweat the Technique" playing. I think in the earlier, Oh yeah, the 63-point game. I was just sitting there like, my God, and he's just this is his second year. You thought what's his name? Patrick Mahomes was crazy. This shit is just like, can you imagine if we saw that shit now in this era? And he did this shit all over LeBron and them, and it would have been like, who is this motherfucker? And he didn't, and mind you, he didn't have Pippen, he didn't have Rodman, he didn't have nothing. And they said after that season, the Bulls front office is like, we got to build a team around him now.
Yeah. You know, I said 3-6 Mafia was sick. There's always going to be one fan base that's always more sick when it comes to Michael Jordan. And that's always going to be the Portland Trailblazers fan base.
Yep.
When you have to, every single time you have to relive drafting Sam Bowie because in their minds, well, we already have Clyde Drexler, so we don't need another guard. Fam, what? Like in today's league, you get fired for that. Like, what are you talking about getting another guard? Just stick them both on the wing. What are you talking about? But, you know, different NBA at the time because, it wasn't just their front office. Who was it? Walt Frazier. Several others saying, oh, yeah, MJ ain't going to be shit. You know, you got to be 7 foot to be shit in this league.
Yeah, he's only 6'6". He's just 6'6". He ain't gonna do nothing to us. Like, what?
Like I said, I fully understand why he is the way he is, because when his dad said if you tell him he can't do something, he's gonna take it personal and he's gonna go off. So, and then seeing all those prominent NBA players saying, nah, he's not. He's just gonna be a regular guy, whatever. Like, fam, the whole NBA, aside from a few like Magic and Larry, saw it. So everybody else saying I ain't gonna be okay, bet. Let me just whoop your ass a few times.
Yeah, let me just prove to you who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And it was just
then it makes all the sense in the world why all those old heads, they don't consider him the greatest. Like, yeah, I would feel some type of way too if I said somebody wasn't gonna be shit and they was busting my ass every single time until I retired from there on out. I get it.
Yep. Yeah. I perfectly agree. I perfectly agree with everything Jordan. They was just, and this is just part one. Part two focused on Scottie Pippen, episode. And they showed that stat in the beginning. Like, he was number 2 in pretty much everything you can imagine. Jordan was number 1.
Number 2 in scoring. Number 2 in rebounds behind Rodman. Number 1 in assists. Number 2 in minutes per game. Like, he was the de facto number 2. And he was the 6th highest paid on the team. And he was the 122nd highest paid player in the entire league.
122. And I was like, that's where my face went, hold up, what? And then they went his whole backstory, how he grew up in poverty and all types of shit. He didn't really have shit, so it was kind of like whatever. But then when they started,
I didn't even know when he got to college. He started off as the equipment manager. The only reason why he actually got the scholarship is because there were a few guys that couldn't make grades, so they lost their scholarship. He started off as like equipment manager.
Yeah.
And then
it was just
And then he was able to practice with them, and then when that happened, he kept hassling the coaches like, "Let me get the scholarship." And then they said he grew like 5 inches or some shit from his
all of a sudden
freshman year to sophomore year.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah.
He came in I think 6'1", and he was only like $150. So then he locked himself in the locker room, the weight room, got his weight up, and then all of a sudden he shot up like 5 inches, and then he was good from there.
Damn.
Yeah. So
it's nuts.
It was nuts. And then he was literally like, what if Jordan was Batman, he was legit Robin. Like, he really was his backup. That's pretty much Scottie Pippen. LeBron James is Scottie Pippen. That's what people used to call LeBron James. They used to call LeBron James Scottie Pippen. That was the best way to describe, I guess, Scottie Pippen or LeBron James to people. Because Scottie Pippen, man, you kids don't know how Scottie Pippen was. You thought Jordan was crazy. Scottie Pippen was just as crazy. Like,
man, Scottie Pippen could have easily been a 25-10 guy if he was the number 1 on his own team. Like, easily.
Then when Jordan left the first time, he was very, very close to going to the finals without him, right?
He was. The problem was that he didn't he didn't fully exert himself. Like, what the reason why they ended up losing against the Knicks was because he threw a pout because Phil drew up the last shot for Tony Kukoc instead of him. And so it was because of the way the game was flowing. Like, they had to get it in Kukoc's hands. And so he got
they're gonna talk about that shit.
Yeah, no, it's gonna come up. But talent wise, he definitely, like, he was no chump. Like, I know it's funny to joke on Scottie Pippen's name, but nah, he was easily top 5 player in the NBA for, I think, the last 5 or 6 years of that Bulls run. Easy.
Yeah, he really was. Rodman, I saw an interview with Rodman. He said flat out that when Jordan left the NBA, Scottie Pippen was the best player in the world. Period. And nobody, like you said, not a lot of people know that. He said if when Jordan left the first time, Scottie Pippen was the best player in the world. And I was just like, shit. But he wasn't getting paid like the best player in the world. He was underappreciated.
Yeah, in 91, it was right after they got the first title, if I'm not mistaken. So another part of his backstory, Martin, is that 2 of his family members were in wheelchairs. So obviously when he got to the NBA, he became the de facto breadwinner. So what ended up happening was he didn't want to bet on him. He didn't want to bet on himself and risk getting the injury and not getting the money. So he took the guaranteed money. So in 91, he signed his deal for 7 years, $18 million, which was, I think, 2.5 per year. Which you're saying, all right, cool. Because remember, at the time, this is a different NBA. There ain't no league pass. There's none of that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So it's kind of like, okay, take the guaranteed money. The problem was that even the owner looked at him and was like, no, you're going to sell yourself short. Don't sign this contract. Like, just wait it out. Trust me, you are that type of player. You can wait this out. But that's the problem. I can't blame Scottie because when you're coming from the situation where you're a breadwinner, you got 2 disabled family members, you got to make sure you
gotta make that money.
Yeah, true.
The problem was that I think it was only a year later did that TV deal shit start coming into play, and there was that big ass surplus in pay. So literally in a span of a year, all that changed, and the front office, the owner was like, I tried to tell him not to sign it because I'm a person that once you sign the contract, don't come in my office trying to renegotiate. You signed your contract. That's what it is.
Makes sense.
So
I mean, and he did warn him too, like, just hold off and shit.
Yeah, so on one hand it was like, damn, they could have renegotiated when Jordan retired, seeing as he became the number 1. But on the flip side, it's like if the owner tells you don't sign it, just wait, and once you sign it, don't come back in my office because that's just how it's going to be. It's like, all right, I get it from both sides. Like, it's a tough call, shitty situation.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was just like they really go into the story. I was like, it's $18 million, right? I was like, $18 million. I was like, oh my god. And then it gets to the point where Jerry just did not care, and he was so close to trading Scottie Pippen away from Jordan, and pretty much it just got revealed like this past Monday that he was gonna go, like, Tracy McGrady they were gonna trade him for Tracy McGrady, a rookie Tracy McGrady, and Jordan nixed that shit. He nicked it, like, no pun intended. He's like, nah, don't send him over here.
That didn't just get revealed though. I mean, in the show it probably did, but like that's kind of been known for a while already.
Like, they didn't reveal it in the show. They showed the clip of when Tracy was on the jump. Yeah. And Rachel Nichols was like, "Oh, so wait, this is hearsay?" And he's like, "No, Jerry Krause called me and we had a secret meeting. He said, we're trading for you." He said, then my agent called a few minutes later, like, "Nah, the deal got nixed. Jordan didn't. He cut that shit right away." He's like, "All right, well, I guess I'm going to Toronto." So like that's how it was.
Yeah. It got to the point Scottie Pippen got so pissed off because he underappreciated and shit. He literally demanded a trade. He said, remember what he did before that? What did he do before that? Before that, he fucked his foot up in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. And so instead of getting surgery right after the finals, he was like, he said it, looked right in the camera and said, "My thought process was, I'm not gonna fuck up my summer rehabbing, so I just waited." He said, I ain't gonna fuck up my summer. He straight up said it flat out. I'm gonna fuck up my summer. The fuck?
Fuck you thought.
Fuck you thought. I'm gonna get this ring and then I'm gonna fucking party. Then I'm gonna get the operation. Got me all fucked up.
And if there was ever evidence of two Americas, MJ was the one that called him selfish for that, while Phil Jackson was like, nah, I supported him through it because I understood where he was coming from. So, we just had to adjust to it.
Yeah.
And it was wow.
He literally demanded a trade because he was pissed off at Jerry. And he literally cussed him out in the bus. And everybody was looking at him like, oh, shit. Phil Jackson was just like, Scotty, you need to chill. He's like, fuck that shit. And he left the bus and he just told a Chicago interview analyst straight up like, you're never going to see me play for this team ever again. Ever again. And my jaw dropped, and I just thought to myself, like, if social media was around, he would have left. Could you just imagine social media when that was around? Because I remember because they showed that the Bulls were losing. They were on an 0-4 like losing streak.
Yeah, that was. I knew that because of the. I mean, obviously, I was watching ball at the time, but the Bulls championship. You know, you have the championship VHSs at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends had it, so we would always watch it. And that was the biggest thing was they came back ready to celebrate, but Scotty was out for like the first 3 months, and they got their asses handed to him for like the first month. I think in November, I think they finished November like 9-7, and that was only because they came back from being down, I think 4-7 or some shit like that.
Now, can you imagine social media if it was around that time? Can you imagine the narrative that would have been drawn? Could you say like, Jordan needs help. Scotty, they're not appreciating Scotty Pippen, and Scotty would have been reading that shit. He would have been just like KD, reading all that shit, watching what the analysts are saying on ESPN, watching First Take, watching Undisputed. He would have been filling up his head, and he probably would have left.
I'll take a step further. I will take it one step further. Scotty fires his agent, and he goes and signs with Rich Paul and Clutch.
Yeah,
and then all hell breaks loose.
I mean, that's if LeBron was around during that time. I've talked, like probably some shit like that. But
whoever the equivalent of Rich Paul would have been, like
the equivalent of that.
Yeah,
like he would have been gone. I was like, the Bulls would not have gotten that 6th ring. They would have gotten there, but they probably wouldn't have won it. Like because that's how crazy social media is. Look what the Warriors. Like, social media was one of the reasons why the Warriors didn't do that 3-peat. Because they put that little shit in KD's head. And they just they really put that little seed in his head. And the fights, all that shit. Yeah, it literally drove them to break up because of that. Social media was the reason why. One of the reasons.
Yeah.
That's fucking... And I was just sitting there. I was like, wow. They wouldn't have made it if social media was around. Because I bet you not a lot of people knew about it unless you were really like into the sports like that. That's what just blew my mind. And that was just the 2nd episode. It left on a cliffhanger saying, that Scotty wanted to leave and shit, and then it just leaves like that. And I was just like, that's just 2 episodes. And I'm already full.
People were upset because they're like, I'm tired of everybody saying that only today's players are buddy and they do all that shit. Like, look at Jordan. He was playing golf with Danny Ainge during the damn playoff series, and then people had to explain to them, Jordan would have played golf with the devil if it meant that he could have gotten an advantage and into their head to know, like, they weren't buddy. It was a means to an end for Jordan. Like, it wasn't about that. He was trying to do, like, get in there and try to get in your head, figure out what the hell he was able to do, and that was right before the 63-point game.
Yeah, pretty much. He'll play golf with you, but ain't nothing. I ain't your friend. He's just trying to kill time.
He's trying to find a weakness and shit.
All that mental shit is psychological.
Exactly.
But like I said,
I'll tell you, he was a real friend. Even though he was only in there for a little bit, it was Charles Oakley, and boy, Charles Oakley made his presence known. There was a clip of him choking Scotty, making fun of him, laughing, and then slapping the shit out of him just on the simple fact that he was a rookie.
Literally did it too. On camera.
Charles Oakley will forever be top 5 all-time NBA do not fuck with him list. All time.
Oh, for sure.
Do not fuck with me at all.
Sure.
And he loved Jordan too. Like anyone that talks shit about him, he'll fucking give you the fade. He knew.
He's Jordan's
Jordan's
unofficial bodyguard.
Skip Bayless.
He's Jordan's unofficial bodyguard to this day.
Pretty much. It's just funny because Skip Bayless.
They're best friends.
Man, I believe it. Yeah. It's funny because Skip Bayless was going in like he was on ultimate troll mode. He was on
Skip
ultimate
got caught
troll,
though, which was funny. Skip got caught because he was talking about LeBron, which I mean at that point it's kind of like, damn, LeBron lives rent free in your head too.
Oh yeah, he had to play up the character. He had to play up that character. So
yeah, but sometimes this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes he teeters that line between character and diminishing what he is, what I believe to be a great, credible journalist. Because he got so he gets so deep into his quote unquote character where it's like, oh man, look at what Jordan was doing at that late stage of his career. Could you imagine having to talk about him the way we talked about LeBron being tired? And then Jay Williams brought up an old ass article of, I think it was either the 97 finals or the 98 finals, the beginning of it, where Skip Bayless himself wrote an article and said Jordan performed, but this is clearly the last of it. He's getting tired.
Gotcha.
And that's my problem with Skip Bayless.
Well, Skip Bayless could have just said what I say.
He can be the troll, but it diminishes it comes at the expense of his actual credibility as a journalist. He's a great fucking journalist.
Yeah.
No, for sure that.
But
so
it's just
that's my issue with him. And then another thing, everybody with the last name Pippen, they all sound the same. I cannot tell the difference between any of them. They all have the same deep voice. It is funny to watch.
What's even crazier though is just like I'm just watching this and I could just like it was just literally I could just imagine the narratives that would have been drawn if the Bulls would have just kept winning the way they were winning. Like I could just see people just saying that Jordan's overrated. I could see people saying that Pippen's better than him. I could just like pretty much the shit that Kobe was getting during that time period, like when he was playing and shit. That would have been Jordan. They would have been saying the same shit. Jordan would have broke all these records, but they would have been saying Isaiah Thomas is better. They would be saying that fucking who else was better? That Carmelo and John Stockton was better. They would have been saying that. Like I could just literally see that. Man, that's how crazy social media is. Like I can see people saying that shit.
There's times I really wish from 1984 on is when you just drop social media, the TV contracts, the league pass. I just wish you could just drop it right into 1984 and then just go from there. Man,
that would have been a whole lot of shit. East Coast, West Coast feuds, all that. That's like I said, this was just the first two parts. Now, the internet's going to internet, and apparently the whole series came out overseas. Like on Netflix overseas, because this is a joint venture between ESPN and Netflix, and apparently episodes have already came out on Netflix in other countries and shit. So apparently the internet's gonna internet. They got the episodes and it leaked all 10 episodes.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and it's out there. I mean, y'all could look, y'all could find it. But it's just like I was thinking about it, like should I watch all 10 episodes now? If I had it, would I watch it? And I was like, nah. I'd rather just wait because this is a special documentary right here, man. This is like showing literally the greatest team in basketball history, one of the greatest teams in basketball history, and we're getting all access to them. Shit, some folks were saying.
If I had it, I don't think I would binge the entire thing in one showing. But I definitely would still follow the premise of do 2 episodes a night for 5 nights. I definitely would, and then turn around and then watch it with everybody else, and then get in the conversation. I think that's the dope thing about the people that have the links. They're all agreeing. They're like, yo, this isn't like Power where you have a few hours on demand and let's talk about it. Like, no, fam, we have the leaks. Like, we have to shut the fuck up and wait till it gets shown. You can't talk about this. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I had to tell Low-Key, my boy Low-Key on Twitter, he was all, because he was saying, oh, y'all gonna like episode 3 about Rodman and that, and then I put up the Drake gif like, oh, and he was like, all right, man, he's like, okay, man, don't do that. I was like, oh, you telling us about the episode. But pretty much episode 3, I guess part 3 and 4, who knows, but 3 is gonna focus on Rodman and the Pistons and how they were the thorn, they were Jordan's kryptonite at one point. And oh man,
I just like how it's gonna be Have you ever seen the Jordan rules, the 30 for 30 on that?
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, if you've seen the Jordan rules, now the only thing that's going to change is you're just going to see it from their perspective instead of the Pistons' perspective. Like the Pistons' perspective, they made him appear to be the biggest asshole. Like, we have to shut him down. He is pure evil as far as Detroit is concerned. Like, now you just don't see it from the flip. And then what I love is I figured out right from jump, I was like, oh shit, it's going to be wait, they're going to use Rodman as the centerpiece for not only the Jordan rules, but they're going to tie it into how he was actually the one that kept the team afloat while Scotty was out during that last season. I was like, that's going to be fucking nuts. Like, they're going to be relying on Rodman to be the level-headed,
the narrator. Yeah, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be, and Rodman already has his 30 for 30, so they don't really have to focus on him like that. But it's just like, wow. And then I just realized, like, dude, they're gonna talk about when Rodman went to. They have to talk about when Rodman went to WCW during the finals. Like, that's part of history. He literally wrestled. He went to Nitro during the finals. Him and Karl Malone during the finals.
I remember that shit.
And WWE has their own little thing. Shout out to people at WWE that knew this documentary was coming, because they already have a documentary about that on WWE Network, focusing on how they got Karl Malone and Rodman to show up. Like Hogan was saying, like, yeah, I got fucking Phil Jackson calling me, cussing me out, and da 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 da. Like, where's my player and shit.
Oh shit.
And Rodman said, like, they asked him how did Jordan feel about it. He was like, hey man, Michael didn't care. He didn't care what I did. As long as I showed up on court and just delivered, that's all he cared about. Right. I was just like, they're going to have to talk about that. And again, it's like WCW, like Eric Bischoff again is going to be mentioned in this. He's etched in history. Man, this is... Yeah, I don't know what episode that's going to be, because they're going to have to mention it. But
it's going to be set up very nice.
And it was saying, like, I was talking about on Twitter with my boy Justin, and he was saying, like, I was saying how crazy it is how the GM was really just that man. He was so prideful that he was going to purposely disrupt the dynasty because of his own ego, and he was going like, hey man, if they're going to do it now, if they're going to do a documentary on football status, they'll do it on the Cowboys. What Jerry Jones did to the Cowboys and shit, that last Super Bowl run. Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Shit. They just do one on the Patriots. That'll be interesting.
Oh, you know that one's coming, but they're waiting for everybody to retire, so that way they can get the real. You can't have people in the locker room still.
Like, I don't know if Belichick's ever allow all access to that team.
In all honesty, they probably just gonna wait out the rest of Belichick's life before they're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, I think that's the way that shit up.
See that. Yeah. Is it funny? Am I the only one that's realizing that there's a ESPN 30 for 30 cinematic universe, because all these stories at some point tie into each other? Like, yeah.
Because you know they're gonna have to talk about when Jordan left, and there's a when he went to play baseball. There's a documentary on that. There's a 30 for 30 on that. There's a 30 for 30 on Rodman.
Remember when he left to play baseball? Not only is there a 30 for 30 on that, but remember with Reggie Miller's 30 for 30, that was a point where it was Jordan retires, now the East is wide open. Like, all of these are connected, and like that shit's funny to me.
And it's crazy because as soon as that team broke up, as soon as that last ring, Jordan left, everyone left, the Bulls literally have not won the finals since.
Shit, they didn't go to the playoffs until 2005.
Yeah, until when did Derrick Rose show up? That was the year he showed up, right?
Yeah.
No, Derrick Rose showed up in 2008.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck. No, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, they didn't go back to the playoffs in 2008. So, there was a drought. They're still in a drought.
No, they went back to the playoffs in 2005. But when they really became contenders was when Rose, a couple years after he got there in 2008. So, I would say 2010-ish is.
And it's crazy. He literally chased Phil Jackson out of Chicago to L.A. and made and won 5 more.
Thank you, Jerry Krause. Appreciate you. That's why I will not fully talk shit about that, man.
He went from Jordan and Pippen to Kobe and Shaq. Like, what? And got 5 more.
I did make fun of one of my friends online, and I was like, I tagged him in it, and I was like, after seeing what I've seen and fully knowing about Jerry Krause, I will never take his slander, his Lakers slander, to heart anymore. Fam, I do not know how you do it.
I mean, if I was a Bulls fan, go on.
Well, because I gave the perfect example of Magic Johnson when in 2000 or not, I'm sorry, in 1991-92. So they're coming off of just winning the title, and Magic had funk with the head coach because it wasn't Teddy Riley at the time, and it's slipping my mind who the head coach was. But anyways, he had funk with him because he's like, I don't like the offense he's running. I don't like this. Magic went to Dr. Buss's office, and Dr. Buss just looked at him and was like, okay, so just name who you want to replace him, and I'll do it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. What do you want to eat? Like, and it was done. Like, that's just how Martine and I have. That's just how Martine and I have grown up with this organization. It's like, yo, excuse me, the players come first. Whatever our star players want, that's what they get.
Yep.
I can't imagine Magic going to Dr. Buss's office and being like, yo, he's bothering me, and looking at him like, so, what's your point? You don't win games. The organization wins games.
That's the wild to hear. That's the most wildest shit I've ever heard in my life. You telling the greatest basketball player of all time, you just a nigger. You didn't win shit. That's what I heard. Like, that's pretty much what I heard. You didn't win shit. I won shit. I won it too. He wanted his participation points. Oh my god, that's just wild. Like, if I was like you, man, I regret ever talking shit about Jed York. Sorry, Jed York, because we just sorry, because Bulls fans, I don't know how y'all did it. I don't know. It's like, I would have been so pissed. I would have been happy with my 6 rings, but then to see my team just become shit, fuck you.
Yeah. That's who it was, Martine. Paul Westhead.
Yeah.
That's who the coach was. I forgot.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Paul Westhead.
Okay,
Paul Westhead didn't even get to finish. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't even get to finish the following season. I think they fired him mid-season.
Shit.
If it wasn't mid-season, then it was right at the end of that season. Like, they were literally coming off the championship, and he was like, "No, I'm not fucking with him. I don't like the offense." And Dr. Buss was just like, "Okay, Magic, don't worry about it, baby. Like, just tell me who you need, and we got you. What you want to eat? You want a Playboy model? I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it was." And I don't understand rooting for an organization that isn't like that. I just don't get it.
Don't blame you.
Seriously.
It was even more fucked up. I don't know if y'all read this shit, but they said that Kobe filmed his interview or his clips for the documentary literally a week before he died.
Yeah,
that's wild. That is wild to me, and that's why Jordan was like getting emotional when he was talking, because it was like Kobe called him like, yeah, that's my big brother, and like when you talk about at Kobe's funeral, like Jordan said, that's my little brother.
Yep.
So yeah, man, and then again, I was just thinking like, you guys got to stop comparing Jordan to LeBron. Again, like I hate talking about it, but it's like, you guys got to stop saying that he's better than him. Like, I'm seeing how he has that will to win. Like, you will not beat me. That's Jordan's mentality. I am not going to give up. I am not going to check out. I am going to win by any means necessary. And I've always said this, I've seen LeBron mentally check out. I've seen him do it. And I think, you know what should have happened? I think we talked about this. LeBron should have went to college. I mean, maybe. I don't know. He didn't have that coded in him. He would have been a grown-ass man. He would have been Zion times 1,000.
I'm not even talking about that. Like, the NCAA would have milked him for everything while he got nothing. Hell no.
That too.
Seriously, dude.
That too. I know exactly. I know what you mean. I was thinking of the player aspect of it and this.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but you got to remember, before he even touched the court, he had just inked the $90 million Nike deal.
Yeah, and I also remembered what Jordan was doing when he wrote to his mom saying he only has $20 in his fucking bank account and told him to send him cash. And I'm like, oh yeah, you winning them championships and you did all that for free. Yeah. Like I thought that to myself. I said to myself, you did all that shit for free. Ain't that about a bitch?
Well, see, and the thing too is, like, it's funny watching 3-6 Mafia squeal. I just don't care anymore because people have
brown sexuals.
Yeah, like, for those that, like, for them especially, it's funny to watch them, like, you know, try to find the median to prove it, because they'll just reach for anything. But
they literally are. That's the funniest part.
But in talking with level-headed people, for them, it's not even just, it's like, okay, yeah, Jordan's a great winner, but that has nothing to do with basketball. Jordan could play football, and he'd probably be the best football player or not even best football player, he would just be viewed as the greatest because his mindset is, I have to win.
Yes,
and they're like,
Yep.
then they're like, but we're not talking about the mindset of winning. I'm just talking about the talent of basketball. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. I get that. Yeah, LeBron's a fucking freak of nature and a freight train. So if you're talking about natural God-given talent and just the ability of what he can do, all right, then yeah, LeBron's gonna be your best. Like, if you can explain it to me in that way, then sure, I don't care, because again, I view Jordan as the greatest and the person that Kobe looked up to. But to me, Kobe is my favorite, and nobody can do anything to change that for me. And I'm not wrong for it. I grew up with Kobe. I watched Kobe from beginning to end. It doesn't make me wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain eras. It's so funny when it becomes the nitpicking and the picking for any little thing to try to say LeBron is better. That's when it makes it funny.
Yeah, that's what I always see. They always get up a damn stat board like it's a PowerPoint spreadsheet. Like, look at the points compared to this point, and look at this and look at that, and this makes LeBron better. He's a better player than Jordan ever was. Like, Jordan got 5 rings, but LeBron's performance during the finals in 2000 whatever was a lot more impressive. What? What?
Yeah.
No. Oh, Jordan got 63 points. Jordan got 63 points in the fucking first round in the playoffs. But LeBron took a crappy ass team to the finals. They got like 40 something points. And I was like, you talking about the playoffs than the finals? I mean, yeah, he got 63 points, but that's the playoffs. I mean, they matter, but not really. LeBron took a scrub team to the finals, which is cool, but he got swept. But
see, that's just where it boils down to. Like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer having the 63 and getting knocked down the first round, or do you prefer taking somebody all the way to the end game? You know what I mean? Like, that's the apples and oranges type shit that I don't really care about. It don't matter to me.
What are y'all gonna call LeBron fans when he gets y'all that when he gets y'all that fourth ring, that ring, not fourth ring, but that his fourth ring? You call him 4-6 Mafia?
I mean, no. Nah.
They'll be 3-6 Mafia to me.
Forever, even when he gets that fourth ring.
Yeah,
shit, I don't know about all that, bro. I'm just like, goddamn.
Their fan base will always be 3-6 Mafia to me, because as far as I'm concerned, if LeBron's able to give us a ring, then that's a Lakers ring, and I've already accepted LeBron as a Laker.
That's a Laker, so that doesn't count for.
No.
I know what you mean. I completely understand what you're talking about.
Sounds funny though, bro.
It counts for LeBron as a Laker, and there's a lot of people that don't want to. They still are upset that he's a Laker. So as far as I'm concerned, no, you're still 3-6 Mafia. That ring belongs to us, and LeBron is us.
I get you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
See what I'm saying? LeBron is us, so I'm cool with it. I'm not disrespecting LeBron. I'm disrespecting you. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think honestly, because I'm just gonna say right now that this season is pretty much canceled. Like the NBA season, it's practically canceled. I don't think there's no way they're gonna come back. I think this
that'd be weird.
This finals, like, I think LeBron has to watch this documentary to get that little seed in his mind. You know what I mean? Like, maybe,
dog, it's already year 17. Like, bro, you still ain't got that.
There's not much you got to do. Like, LeBron got it.
You study the game, too. Like, you still ain't got that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But, I'm just being optimistic. I'm being optimistic.
It ain't even that. He didn't need that. We saw what he was doing the last month of the season before it got suspended. He was on a mission at that point. Like, he knew what time it was. Like, he doesn't need that. Again, this ain't got nothing to do with LeBron specifically. It's just making fun of the 3-6 Mafia. I'll never disrespect LeBron.
Like, me neither. Me neither.
You know what I'm saying? He's always been one of my favorites, and the fact he's on my team now, like, that's I ride off. You talk about LeBron, you talking about me, and I don't do that. So something got to be done. But
it's just funny trolling the fans. It's like me and Drake fans.
That fan base will forever be 3-6 Mafia. I don't care if he gets us 2 more rings. Yeah, LeBron got 5, but the Lakers got
3.
You got 3. Yeah.
The Cavs and the fucking the Cavs and the fucking Heat. Y'all got 3. LeBron fans, y'all got 3. Lakers, we got the 2. Y'all still got 3 because you ain't one of us.
Exactly.
Oh shit!
You know the fucking vibes.
Oh, I already know. Yeah, I get it. I completely understand that logic. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I would have said the same shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great documentary. Great documentary. So anyway, moving on.
Round of applause.
Round of applause for that.
To finish up with hoops, I completely did not realize that the WNBA draft was earlier this week, so I only ended up catching the recap of it. But shouts out to Sabrina Ionescu, who went number 1 overall. Of course, major props out to her because she's a pedestrian herself. She's from out here in Walnut Creek. She played, of course, she played at Oregon. Number 1 pick, and she's headed to New York Liberty. And the New York Liberty just announced they're going to start playing in the Barclays Center. So people in Brooklyn are going to be excited whenever sports does return. One of the biggest things, though, is I bring up that draft is because the commissioner for that, they decided to make Gianna Bryant, Alyssa Altobelli, and Peyton Chester, all 3 girls, a part of the Mamba Academy, who were, of course, in the helicopter that passed away. They all became honorary draft picks. I want to commend the league for that.
Yeah,
they named them as what could have been the future of the WNBA. And they even highlighted Gigi and said it possibly could have been the Mambacita era. Like
really
she said that.
Been.
She said that in the video. So yeah, that was touching. Of course, Vanessa went on and showed her appreciation. Just prayers out to her because not only did that take place, but earlier this week would have been hers and Kobe's 20-year anniversary. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 20-year. It would have been their 20-year anniversary. I think over the weekend. Yeah, so just prayers out to her. And then the WNBA, they also have a new award, which is named the Kobe and Gigi Bryant WNBA Advocacy Award. And as they put it, they said it recognizes an individual or group who has made significant contributions to the visibility, perception, and advancement of women's and girls basketball at all levels. Just class personified. Round of applause again.
Round of applause for them, yes.
That couldn't have gone any better. From what I heard, it was a very successful virtual draft, which only means one thing. When the NFL has their virtual draft this week, it's going to be a complete fuck up.
Trash, because they already said the mock-ups. Sure. They said the mock. They said they did the mock draft, and they said like it was just a total disaster. Disaster. So yeah, can't wait for that.
See, to me, the Teddy Riley versus Babyface on Saturday is what made me so excited for the NFL virtual draft.
Oh my god!
And what's even crazier is that at this point, the NFL ain't gonna be coming back this. It's not gonna come back this season. Like I really like. And now that I'm seeing how this shit's going, I don't feel it's gonna come back this season. I mean, it might with a capital M, maybe with a question mark.
Yeah, like I said, if it does come back,
for the motherfuckers, bro. Maybe.
So like I said, if it does come back, it's gonna be a lockout, kind of like a lockout season in terms of it's gonna be a shortened season.
Yeah, and there's gonna be no fans in there, so you gonna hear all the tackling.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
And the shit talking.
And it's crazy when you watch WWE, which I'm still amazed that they're still going on right now. They kind of laid the foundation on how to do this shit. Just have barely no fans, check the temperature, see that they're good, and then do your sports. Huh? Yeah, I know. Move to Florida. Yeah, move to Florida. But I'm just saying, like, how they're doing this shit. I'm like, I mean, it works, but they have limited people there. You can't do that in the NFL. You especially can't do that in the NBA. Just have fun. Yeah, you can't do that. There's a lot of teams. It's just a lot of people. Nah, you can't do it that way.
53 on the team, on the active roster, and then you got 70-something, I think, overall or some shit like that.
Yeah, that can't work.
All the assistant coaches.
Yeah, and then the offensive coordinators. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. Yeah, basketball, maybe. You know, if you find like an empty arena in a closed location, maybe. But
that could work actually.
Maybe
that's a lot.
The thing is, they were talking about with the NBA. They were talking about just going to Disney World because all the facilities are there. Because of when they do summer league.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, maybe I don't know. You know, it's. But speaking of wrestling, I almost make this a little footnote. It was another bad week for Vince McMahon. I don't know if y'all heard
at this point.
Oh, I don't know if y'all heard about this shit, but literally a few days after he folded up the XFL, wrestling had a really dark day. It was Black Wednesday, that's what they're calling it. And he pretty much had a phone call. He pretty much had a conference with pretty much all the employees, including his wrestlers, talent, pretty much everyone a video call, and he pretty much said like, yeah, I'm gonna start laying off and firing people because COVID fucked up. Literally a day after the whole ass nigga called him the great Vince McMahon, and he's joined the economy team to try to bring the economy back and shit. So he laid off like pretty much wrestlers, producers, like crew members, staff, office, like what's it called, corporate people took pay cuts, like almost like 10 wrestlers literally lost their jobs. Like he had to let them go, like well-known people, like from Drake Maverick, Zack Ryder, fucking Kurt Angle was still working there, which was fucking wild to me because he was a producer, and I was like, nigga, that nigga still work there? Shit. Yeah, like let go of Kurt Angle, let go of like a few other wrestlers, like hella other wrestlers that weren't on TV. Like they were literally hoarding talent just to stop them from signing to other organizations and shit. Which I get it, but he was trying to kill the independent scene, damn near. And now he fucking laid them off. And what makes it even worse is that these wrestlers can't find work because wrestling shut down right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so except WWE and AEW. AEW might pick them up, but they're doing the same shit WWE is doing, and they taped episodes. So it was just bad. Wrestling Twitter was just like sad about it. I was looking at it like, yeah, I'm not surprised that they fired him. But the thing that fucks it up even more is that WWE is gonna make a lot. Even though this is really fucking up the economy and shit, WWE is still gonna be financially okay, pretty much. And in a nutshell, they didn't have to fire everybody. Vince just reacted. That's pretty much what Dave Meltzer is saying. He just reacted. He saw what the thing was good, and he was like, I gotta cut heads, fuck it, and just cut everybody. And just cut people. Shit. And forload some people. It was a bad day in wrestling. But I mean, some of it I wasn't that surprised, but I haven't seen this many wrestlers get cut in one day and like ever. And yeah.
That's rough.
And then pretty much he changed his mind. He ain't gonna be doing live shows no more. They're gonna do it like every 2 weeks or whatever. They're gonna they're gonna like tape shows and shit like that. And when it comes to Money in the Bank, did I tell y'all what they're gonna do at Money in the Bank?
Nah.
Yeah, you said they're gonna have people just go up on the building and just go get the briefcase.
Pretty much, yeah. They're gonna tape the shit in WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. And they're going to start from the bottom, and then they're going to wrestle their way to the top of the fucking building where the Money in the Bank briefcase is at. On some fucking Ready to Rumble shit.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, these... And they already filmed it, too. So that's the thing. They already filmed it. It's going to be like another fucking theater shit. And it's just like, really? And this is so crazy. When I think about this shit that's going on right now, it's going like, when we look back in the history books, we're going to remember that the only sporting thing that was going on was wrestling. Fucking wrestling. Not basketball, not football, not hockey, not soccer, not golf, not volleyball, none of that shit. Tennis, wrestling. Pro fucking wrestling.
Yeah. That's just gonna be nuts. There was I got one more hoop story to finish out, which is, I don't think it's going to tear down the NCAA, but I definitely think it's going to be the step in the right direction for allowing players and student athletes to decide if they want to be, in fact, a student athlete. Jalen Green, who was the number one prospect in ESPN's 2020 Top 100, he's a high school star out here in California. Yeah, he withdrew from the scholarship. I forgot which school he was going to go to, and he is now going to the G League. They just created this new program where the elite prospects get a $500,000 contract for 1 year, and it's in a developmental program outside of the actual traditional team structure, which means that they will actually be getting they'd have a whole separate team of just these top prospects, just always they can learn and develop. And they would only end up playing, I think it would be 20 games compared to the 50 games. Like, it's just to get their feet wet and get ready for everything. But they would be playing
make money.
Yeah, and they'd be playing against the competition that's also fighting for spots to try to get into the league. Yeah. This is perfect to go into the right direction. Like, this is nice.
Yeah.
I like this.
Happened during the damn pandemic, and they're just like, well, what the fuck? And they're like, what the fuck? Oh yeah.
Like I said, I don't think it's enough to just completely tear down the NCAA, However, I think a move like this and the pandemic itself, yeah, you can get some stuff done because, like you were saying, Busby, you don't think that the football's going to start on time? Try telling that to the southern states. They are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that it starts on time.
Well, that's why Atlanta, that's why Georgia's trying to open up so early. That's why all of them fucking in the South is trying to open up. Like, if you die, you die. I'm going to get my football.
If Georgia opens up, that means Alabama for sure is opening up. If they even close down to begin with.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think Alabama closed to begin with if we keep it in the butt.
No, I think they have that shelter in place, but they're just you know how the Bammers are. They want their sports. Yeah, you gonna tell them football's canceled? Shit.
Yeah, because they've told all the programs they're not starting anything until the students are actually allowed back on campus. And they're still trying to find loopholes, be like, okay, well, the players, and they're like, no, not the players included. Remember, they're students first, like you guys have always been saying. So if that's the case, no,
that's God's sense of humor. That is God's sense of humor.
Exactly.
That's God's sense of humor.
When it comes to paying paying these guys, it's always no, they're students first. They should be happy with what they get. Okay. Well, okay. You got what you wanted. They're students now.
You can't live without. You can live without football. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
One other note when it comes to wrestling, there was a death. Howard Finkel. Y'all know who Howard Finkel is?
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Howard Finkel, 69 years old. He was one of the first people ever hired from WWE, and he was their announcer from WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 32. Like, he's the guy that he introduced all the wrestlers and matches, and your winner and new WWE World Champion.
Okay.
Yeah, he passed away this past week. Like, literally the day after the freaking Black Wednesday, like last Thursday. And it was like I said, it was just a dark day in wrestling for the past few days, that last week. And it was just like, fuck. Niggas getting fired and legends passing away. Yeah, man, that's fucked up.
Rest in peace and salute to that man.
For real. Rest in peace to Howard Finkel. Anyway, music dropped.
And boy, did it drop. In abundance. Let me hit the gunshots.
And I don't know if you got the Joe Biden gunshots, but yeah. Westside, Gunn, Pray for Paris. Boy, man, that's my favorite project from him. That is by far my favorite project from him. Like, let's put it this way. I was listening to that shit I was listening to that album pretty much like all weekend until the Teddy Riley shit happened. I couldn't listen to shit because I was so mad. But it was a great, it was a great album. Like, I literally listened to that like all the way through. Like, that day it dropped, I was like, okay, because I've always had, I like Griselda, but some albums are kind of just like too gritty. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, okay, let's listen to this.
Right.
And I'm listening to it, and it sounded polished. Westside Gunn was rapping his ass off. The features were just shining so bright. Fucking George Bondo with Conway and fucking Benny the Butcher. Conway damn near has one of the best verses this year. That verse on track 3, George Bondo. Oh my god, he ripped that shit. 327 with Tyler the Creator. That was vintage Tyler the Creator. That beat is fucking fire. French Toast with Wale. That was great. Beat was fire. 500 ounce with Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs rapped his fucking, my god, he rapped his ass off on that. Versace.
That was $500 ounce was just like a fucking stunt of the hip hop heads' perfect song. I mean, it's fucking, it's Gunn, Gibbs, Rock Marciano, and it's produced by Alchemist. Like, what more do you want?
And fucking for Versace, like, that song was great. And you want to know why it's great? You know who produced that shit? Jay Versace. That dude that you see on fucking all those Instagram clips and shit like that. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Is that the one where we use when somebody's like, no, that's not good, I hate it, and we're like, to you, and it's that kid
that's him.
That's
him.
Okay, got it. All right.
That's him.
Oh,
Yeah, he produced that. Yes. Shit. I was shocked because he even said, "Shout out to Jay Versace." I didn't know if it was the same one. It's the same one. I was like, holy shit. Wow. And then you got Yeah, I was shocked. That was one of the best beats on the album. I didn't know he had it in him like that. And then you got Claiborne Kick that's literally named after fucking Drew McIntyre's finishing move. And shit, he should make that his damn theme song. Sean versus Flair, produced by DJ Premier, and Westside Gunn said flat out he had DJ Premier watch Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24 while he created the beat.
Wow. Fucking shit.
Yeah.
Salute to Gunn.
Yeah.
Salute
Then you
that
got
man.
Party with Pop Smoke. That was great with his tribute to Pop Smoke and shit like that. And then I can't pronounce the last one. The last track.
Le Dio
Fuck
Libia,
it.
I think.
That's what it's
You
called.
just said that shit.
All right.
That shit gonna jump, dog. What the fuck?
But yeah, that whole album, like, that was great. That was great rap music. I was impressed. Round of applause. Westside?
Not only was it perfectly balanced, it was why it was perfectly balanced. Mm-hmm. It was just he had just had a nice variation of producers on here.
Yeah.
Like No Vacancy, which is the first song, that's DJ Muggs. Derringer's on here twice, and it's no coincidence he's on basically the Griselda tracks where it's all three of them together. And then Alchemist is on here twice. Like you said, Premier did Sean vs. Flair. Tyler the Creator himself is on here twice. Once rapping with Joey Badass on, was it 327?
Yeah, Joey Badass. That was Vintage Joey too.
Yeah. So he does that track, and then he comes back and he produces Party with Pop Smoke.
Shit.
Like you said, Jay Versace, which was a shock to everybody. Find out, like, he just had a nice balance. So you had a nice cohesive project, and everything sounded well put together. But you got different variations of it because you had different people behind the boards on it. Like, I think that's what has been missing from Westside Gunn projects, which is he would get in with Derringer, or he get in with I think it's
the in-house people,
Beat Butcher. So it'd be
Yeah.
Derringer or Beat Butcher strictly, and then that was it. Which is, it's fine. He's staying down with his people. But when you do something to this magnitude, where you got some legends on here in addition to the guys you came up with, it's very hard to fail. No, this is easily one of my favorite. This is going to be
rap albums.
Yeah, I would even go as far as say this is going to be one of those ones that's constantly contending to fight for a spot in the top 10 when it's all said and done.
It's already in my top 10. Depending on what other albums come out when it comes to this whole pandemic, I'm really curious about how rap albums are going to come out during this whole shit. Yeah. This album's up there. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. So what do you think about DaBaby's album
for tomorrow?
Yeah. What do you think about DaBaby's album, JC? I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it.
I liked it because I knew what it was.
See?
I know exactly what I'm
he's
getting
about.
into when I listen to Jonathan Kirk at this point. Like, he's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't understand how people were hating on it. It was just like, you know who this nigga is.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, people were dissing him for the line in the first song, which is "Can't Stop," when he was like, "I take a piss in this lemonade," and then he was like, "What? I take some shit and now it's chocolate pudding or whatever."
Yeah.
And like, this is like the worst bars ever, and I was like, I don't give a fuck what he said because we let Biggie get away with some really suspect lines, and we still
see, this is why I don't. They let Drake get away with the Channing Tatum lines and all a bunch of other fucking lines, and other people said he's a more that shit. Other people said he's a more whacker shit, man. Eminem said the fucking butt police rear line. Nah, man. Like, nah, I've heard worse. This is good. I don't know what people were expecting from this. People were going like, oh, this is too soon. Why is he dropping that album now during this, man? No one could go out. I'm like, dude, he dropped it and he went number one. He's going to have a number one album this year. Y'all said it's trash, but y'all listened to it and he's going to go number one. And for me, I love light-skinned shit with Future. I was just
about to say the same way I praised Gunn's album for the features and the producers. The same reason, the same way I'm praising this album. Like, no feature seemed out of place. Quavo and Future on both pickup and light skin shit. They just showed out, but they didn't outshine DaBaby. So it was it was a nice blend. I did not know how much I needed a DaBaby and Roddy Ricch collaboration, but I want to hear more from them now.
Jump was fire.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people downplaying Nasty with Ashanti and Meg Thee Stallion, and I was like, fam,
I didn't know what they were hearing.
Like, fam, that was incredible.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know what expectations with DaBaby. People say they called the album boring. I was just like, what are you guys hearing? Like, this album sounds like the last album, and I low-key enjoyed the last album and the album before that. So it's like, this is what you're gonna get from him.
It's just nitpicking at this point. Like, it's basically the formula, which is you'll praise somebody up, and then when they keep doing what they were initially praised for, then it's like, okay, I'm over it. But it's like, why are you doing that? You guys are the ones that got him here. Like, so now you just gonna turn back on him? Like,
yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it. It was 13 tracks, and I had fun with all 13 tracks. Like, it kept me moving all day on Saturday.
Yeah, it was. I think that's what it is. Niggas ain't working. I guess because all of us are working, that's why we're enjoying this shit.
Yeah, because I'm able to go outside and still move while I'm working. Like,
yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Stuck at home. Yeah, I guess being stuck at home is. But see, that confuses me too, because people, they brag. Well, now we out here working out. We got time. We got if you got so much time to be active, this is perfect active music. I don't get it.
I know. Niggas are idiots. Anyway,
now when it comes to this joint, whoa, let me take the lead on this one, my brother.
OVO sound, man. What
let
the
me
fuck?
take the lead on this one. Oh my
Go
god.
ahead.
I have been waiting.
Oh my god.
Vision. Oh my god. See.
Oh my god.
There's a story. Maybe Busby and I will tell you one day, many years down the road. But Busby and I have a personally good connection when this group Division, and
the first album. Leave it at that.
Yeah. We bonded together over the first pause. Like, it wasn't in that way.
Pause. I was about to say,
no. Pause. Pause. But,
yo, that was a funny ass pause, bro. Because I was over here drinking my fucking water and shit.
We bonded together. Wait, the fuck? Nah, not like that, people.
Yeah, nah.
Time out.
Yeah. Statute of limitations. We'll just say that. But anyway. When it comes to Division, I'm very excited. I am on the forefront when it comes to Division. I fully believe that Division is the best act on OVO, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
Very dead ass, he is. He really is.
Yeah. Division. Daniel Daly, 1985. Salute you, brothers. Round of applause. I wanted to start off by saying that first. Because a Muse in her feelings. It is 16 tracks, and they broke this album down into 4 parts. First of all, that is an art in itself. That means that you are taking us on a journey, and this is a story. And as far as I'm concerned, when you incorporate a story, that means that this is a concept album. And there was from the time the No Good starts, it's just like, all right, we're here. I knew this was going to be a good project just based off of the singles. It became an instant contender in my top 10 overall because the album cuts made the singles, for lack of better words, sound like they didn't deserve to be on the album, and the singles were fucking amazing. So that just lets you know how the album cuts sound. So of course 1985 is of course him being in the group, he's the predominant producer, but they got some co-producers on here. 40 is on here for a track, and he mixes another one. Brian Michael Cox is actually on 2 tracks, and he co-produces No Crying with Future, and he co-produced what I thought was the top 3 track on the album, which is For Us. Then you had Alan Ritter, who, of course, if you know the name Alan Ritter, he's produced for Drake, Travis Scott, Kanye, even Joe Budden.
Everybody.
He floats in and out on this album. James Fauntleroy has writing credits on here, so they.
I knew I heard him. I knew I heard his writing technique on that shit.
Yeah. So this is clearly their most mainstream project.
Very mainstream project. Because for me, I enjoyed this album, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first 2. I mean, I'm not saying the album is bad. It's very solid, but I like the first 2 because it's raw R&B. Like, it's raw, just fucking music, R&B, and I love that shit. This is like they're trying to transition into the, you know, the mainstream, and that's cool. But I want that raw shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is I'm still in heavy favor of September 5th.
Yes.
However, when you put their catalog up, which is September 5th in the morning, and now Muse and Her Feelings,
they're 3 for 3.
Yeah, they three-peated.
Not Party Next Door, not Drake, not Roy Woods, not Pop Can, but Division. They literally snuck out three potentially classic projects back to back to back.
And what I enjoyed about this, man, is that, so like I said, each section, there's a different section for these songs. Mm-hmm. They just don't miss. Like, they don't. When they want to get into their slow bag, they are there, and you have no choice but to accept it.
Especially the last half of the album. When they get in when you get that vintage Division, yeah, that's like the last half of the album.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When they get into their nice Caribbean bag, this is not the Drake Mans.
Nah.
No, this is both of our parents are from Jamaica. We grew up on this.
This that Toronto sound.
Yeah, enjoy this with us. Like, bruh, what is it? Of course, Dangerous City with Ty and Buju Banton, and then it goes into So What with Pop Can. Mm-hmm. And then it goes into Outlandish. Like, you would think with songs that sound so similar in that instance would just be like, okay, they're just running out of songs now, whatever. No, that was a nice. It was just nice to be like, okay, these are 3 songs of Caribbean, but they sound nothing alike, and at the same time, they're full of energy. They give you life. I love that. There's not much else I have to say about this project. Like, the features, nobody outshined them. I love the transition from Keep It Going into Flawless with Summer Walker. That was a beautiful transition.
Oh yeah. The way they sequenced the album was great. I wonder who engineered this shit. Does 40 have any like production credit on this shit?
So 40 co-produced, I think, Friends with Party Next Door. And shout out to Party. Party gave a hell of a feature on Friends. 40 co-produced that, and then he mixed at least one other song on here. So it's still the OVO sound album. Like, the only thing missing is Drake. Mm-hmm. Drake's the only person, but of course he's the executive producer.
Drake executive produced the album?
Well, he didn't. I call him an executive because the thing of it is he's still signed. They're still signed to him, and that's his label. So that's where I'm getting at. But as far as
of course,
they turned the album into him, so he wasn't the hands-on exec. It's just contractually. That's where his attachment comes into it.
Yeah. Like, they literally, like, I'm just gonna say right now, 2020. Who would have thought? But OVO is 2 for 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying. Even though Majid Jordan isn't credited as a feature on here, Majid Jordan's all over this album as writers and producers.
I knew I heard them. I knew their credits were on it. This legit was an OVO collaboration project. Huh.
Yeah.
They figured out a way to work all together to bring this shit out. Huh.
And I'm just gonna say this, Busby. I don't know how you feel about it, but from the first time I heard her, I am a Chantel May fan. Oh my God, the way she came on again.
Wasn't she on Young Money?
No.
Or am I thinking of somebody else?
You're thinking of Chanel.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Chantel May is from Toronto, and 1985 has been working with her, not exclusively, but he's been working on some songs with her. I cannot get enough of. Like I said, I thought For Us was the song of the project when I heard it, and then I heard Again. And
yeah, that was a great outro.
And my only problem with Again was it was the outro, and if that's my only problem with it, I'll live with that till the day I die. Like, I can live with that.
Fuck it.
Yeah. I became a fan of Chantel May just off of that song alone. I want to hear as much from her as possible.
All around, man. Round of applause for Division, man.
Yes.
It was a great project. Like, again, for me, it was a solid project. The first 2 albums, just raw. yes. This shit, it's solid. It's just like, okay, you can't keep it raw. You gotta put some smackdown into it. So
yeah, I mean, for this being the project that where they go into mainstream, they could have easily went into the cliches. Mm-hmm. They didn't. Like they still didn't. Even though it's not a raw album, they still kept that raw essence about them. So it's basically just a raw essence of them over a more mainstream sound. It's enjoyable. Yeah. I love it.
It is. That it is. Fuck.
Yeah. And then the final album, I don't know if you got to it. I know Martin didn't. He wasn't able to listen to anything.
Yeah. My days were.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know if you got to Sextape 4, Busby, by The Dream.
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about Burner and fucking, what's his name?
No, I wasn't able to get to that one.
Yeah, I didn't get to that.
Sextape 4 is good, man.
I know he put tracks from 1977 on there.
Yeah. It's good. Like, I realized the problem that people had with Sex Tapes volumes 1 to 3 was just he just put them all out at once, so it was just like it was overwhelming for people, even though it was over the winter break. If he would have just did this for each month and just did a volume each month, it'd be perfect. Because this one, like, it's a clear cut, get to the point, listen. Janae Aiko's the sole feature on here on Wee Hours, and she kills her portion of that.
I've heard great stuff about that record.
Yeah. See, I'm a big time Dream fan, and obviously one of the reasons why I'm a Dream fan is because he never tries to hide the fact that he is a child of Prince in terms of musically. And Fuck My Brains Out, which is track number 10, is a perfect example of being a child of Prince musically. Like, this, once you hear it, it's just like, okay, yeah, Prince would have did. If Prince was in 2020, that would be a Prince song.
Division has some Prince-like songs on his album too.
Mm-hmm.
Ish.
Yeah, no, I fucked with this. My thought process leaving this weekend worth of music was, I left with 2 projects that are going to be fighting to stay within my top 10, because they're both in my top 10 right now. Westside Gunn and Division are both in my top 10. They're not leaving as of now.
More down.
And then in addition to those, I left with solid projects from DaBaby and The Dream 2. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this past weekend in music is, to me, this is the bar of the year so far. Like, you got to come with it to take out this weekend as far as music goes. This is a hell of a weekend. There's 4 projects, and I loved all 4 of them.
I mean, as of right now, all we're waiting for is just Big Sean. So, yeah. Big Sean, and as we're talking right now, this week, Top Dog is feeling nice, and I guess it's TDE week, and he's dropping a new song every day from a Top Dog artist. And the first day was Ab-Soul. I didn't listen to it. I don't know what the track was called. Did y'all listen to it?
But it was a freestyle.
Nah, I didn't get a chance to.
But if I'm not mistaken, it was Ab-Soul's first solo offering since 2016. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Top Dog's doing all this. Round of applause to Top Dog. He's doing all this just because it's his birthday.
Yeah. And everyone's kind of like, who we waiting? I was like, who's it going to be? So everyone's waiting. Is he going to drop a Kendrick freestyle? So we'll see. Maybe. We'll see. We might hear from him. That'd be nice.
All I know is thank you, Top Dog. We appreciate that.
Seriously.
What else is
Dude,
going on
if it's the heart, though, I swear to God, I'm going to lose my shit.
What'd you say? Oh, my God.
I mean? I'm just saying, dog.
I get it, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's about that time.
Kendrick will show up when he shows up.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Just be patient.
I'm ready.
I'm low key expecting it to happen on Friday, just
ready.
for them setting it up how it usually goes down. Kendrick's always the one that closes out these appreciation weeks.
Yeah, he could be tomorrow.
Yeah, seriously. The next one up could be Isaiah. What if he uses this opportunity to say, "All right, Isaiah's album's finally done. He's the last one to drop because he's coming out in a couple weeks."
Yeah, I mean, Reason already said if Isaiah drops, you motherfuckers better fucking put him up there because y'all keep bugging us about the shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Keep it in L.A. The Game was in the news once again.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, you need to pay your fucking lawyers, you fucking idiot. Shut up, Dad.
JC.
Yeah,
Shut up,
Game
Dad.
says. Well, here's what's going on now. So, for those who are unaware of this, Game was being sued by one of the women when what was the show For the Love of the Game?
Yep.
Something in the game, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if Priscilla Rainey. She claims that he sexually assaulted her in between takes. This has obviously been going on for years on end. The judge then ordered both the royalties to Born to Rap and the actual LA Prolific Records label to Priscilla Rainey. So everybody had fun with it, but then there's now conflicting stories because both Game and Whack 100 are saying that no, it's not happening because Game's coming from the standpoint of I don't own the royalties, so how can you take it away from me? And I'm like, wait, how the hell does he not own his royalties? And then that's when Whack 100 came out and said, I own the royalties. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, these motherfuckers might be geniuses because I wouldn't put it past Game to know that that was on the surface and then just say, well, they can't take it away from me. It's all under your proceeds, so you have it. And then just cut me my check every month.
Whatever.
Bruh.
Whatever, man.
That's kind of smart if that was the play. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like, that shit, yeah. Nah, man, you can't whatever that shit, Busby.
Nah.
No, I said whatever because it's just like, it's whatever. Like I said, whatever. I could just give a fuck about a Whack 100, so whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I know exactly what the whatever meant. Like, I knew what you were trying to say, but I'm like, nah, bro.
On the business standpoint, yeah, but
that shit's kind of genius, dog.
Right.
Like, for real.
Yeah. Keeping it California, especially in our neck of the woods, we want to send prayers and thoughts out to Cool John.
Yes.
The HBK gang. For those who don't know, Cool John was shot multiple times up in Richmond. And fortunately, none of the bullets hit any vital organs.
Yeah.
He's going to be pulling through. Just a fucked up situation, man. Like,
seriously. Glad he's okay, though.
Yeah, like, it's fucked up because I was talking with Tarasi about it earlier over the weekend, and it was kind of just like, it was like, bro, like, you would just think that certain people, just for what they've done and, you know, how they move, it would just make them, at the very least, be like, you know what, we could go pull up on this nigga, but at the end of the day, you know, in this case, it's Cool John. Why are we getting like, come on.
Yeah.
But in talking about that, I had to see it from another perspective too. It was like, fam, if the jacket wasn't safe, nobody's safe.
No, like, Nipsey isn't safe. Nobody's safe.
Yeah. It's a fucked up situation. But like you guys said, I'm so glad that nothing vital got hit. So at this point, he's still expected to make a full recovery.
Yeah, that's all. I've seen his photos, and he's chilling.
Yeah,
so
Rossi said that it's actually been him that's been keeping everybody up in spirits. Like, he's the one that's been cracking jokes and making everybody laugh. So
that's what's up.
Yeah,
during a damn pandemic, niggas want to shoot niggas. Like, really?
Yeah,
really?
I mean, the same. Like, I mean, you know what happened up in Canada? Like, all of a sudden, there's a 9 victims, or 9 victims dead, and 8 of them, and then including the shooter, whatever happened in Canada. And I'm like, how's that happening during a pandemic?
Niggas got time. I mean, I told you, niggas got time. Fuck. Yeah. Niggas showing up with a fucking mask covering themselves, like, I guess, and then after they shoot the niggas, they go and wash their hands.
Right. Yeah.
Get hand sanitizer, like, yep. Shit,
speaking
man.
of Big Sean still may be insecure, guys.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this nigga real quick, man. This will be the last thing, because I'm kind of getting tired. Yeah, Big Sean. So, how did it start? 2 Chainz went on fucking Twitter and said that he had the best verse on Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
He had the best verse on Mercy and shit, and he said that he killed everybody. So then apparently, I guess Big Sean was doing an interview, and I guess he felt the type of way, and he called up 2 Chainz. He's like, what you mean, man? What do you mean you got the best verse? And he was like, yeah, I was just talking shit. And he was like, yeah, man, because Kanye fucking liked my verse when I recorded. I did it over like the barrel beat. It was nothing, and I had the best verse, and Kanye really liked my verse. I don't know what he was talking about. I'm like, nigga, why the fuck the fuck? You Issa Rae now? Yeah.
For real.
Nigga, you Issa Rae, you held that insecure. And then when I heard how he was talking, then that just confirmed everything for me. You were talking to Kendrick. you did feel a way about the Control verse. You were sending those little subliminal shots to him and then backing away. That's all that confirmed to me. That's all that confirmed.
Yeah,
like,
no, there's no more. I will not defend that, and I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt anymore. Anytime you feel that type of way, like, there's no reason to feel some type of way about that. Like, if your boy, who was clearly affiliated with you guys at the time, feels that he got on the track and killed it, all right, who gives a fuck? Y'all on the same team.
And the main consensus was that 2 Chainz had the best verse. So,
I mean, there's that too.
I mean, everyone, even Kim liked the verse. Kanye liked the damn verse. He's the one that shouted out his damn verse the most. Not Big Sean, and I like Big Sean's verse. The whole song is fire. Like, that was just insecurity. I don't know why he really called his ass. That's the thing that got crazy. Like, he got that mad and called him. So then that just, like I said, that confirmed to me he felt a way about Control. And all those little, and like No More interviews and the Me, Myself, and I freestyle, those shots were at Kendrick. And Kendrick did hear it. And then he probably called him out on it. And Big Sean was like, no, I'm just playing. You know, I didn't mean it. And then he did it again on No More interviews. And then he was like, oh, really? Okay. And then he did Humble.
No, I can't rock with him any longer and give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's clearly it's clearly he was a hit dog and he barked the loudest. Like,
and the way he was talking about it too, he felt like you really saw how emotional he was about it.
Right, he's definitely KD for sure.
Wow. In addition to the IG lives with Janae Aiko, like I was watching clips of those, like,
Oh, what?
That looks a little funny too. He was doing IG lives with Janae Aiko, and it was like some of the stuff he would be asking me.
Like, that shit. Yeah.
Where he was like, "Would you compete for me?" It's just like, "No, I don't compete. I only complete." And I was like, "Why would you ask that in front of everybody when you like?" Okay, all right, bro. Okay. Yeah, you got it. You can have it.
I mean, I like his music. I like Big Sean's music and personal when it comes to other stuff. But that shit, that said a lot about him. It really said a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
to finish up, we can clear through these. Empire's wildin', bro. Like, it is what it is.
What was that shit?
I don't know.
What was that shit?
I have no idea
what the hell
that was.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Martine and the people.
No, I don't.
So there was a scene that popped up on social media. I was like, yo, what is Empire? Because this is their final season. And so this dude is like, who was the dude again? Who's the guy? I know, is he gay? I know he's always gay.
That's gay. Whoever the oldest brother is.
Yeah, the oldest brother on the show. He was talking to his mom, and then
his grandma.
He said some shit, and then the grandma slapped him. And then when he turned his face, he turned white. She slapped the black out of him. I had to replay it 3 times just to make sure I saw it right. And then every time I saw this, like the look on his face after, and she's like, "You need to get out, you devil." And I was like, "Hold up, what? Well, hold up, what's going on here?" This show not only jumped the shark, it did a figure 8 in the air and backflipped and all types of stuff. It jumped a whole sea load. It jumped over Free Willy. Like, what? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing to say. She's literally slapped the black off of him.
I was so confused watching it, and I just turned it off when it was done. I was like, I don't even want to know.
I watched it 3 times just to make sure I wasn't tripping.
What the fuck? Why would you do that?
No. When the slap. Because the way...
just that one part.
Yeah, okay. Just to make sure I wasn't tripping. And I watched this other show on Netflix. I'm about to tell you. I watched this show on Netflix called Too Hot to Handle. So I'm telling you, Netflix has the holy trinity of social experiment shows. First there was The Circle, then it was Love Is Blind. Now it's Too Hot to Handle. They pretty much get all these people from all around the world on an island or like a resort or whatever, and pretty much they're all like horny and shit like that. And they pretty much told them flat out, you'll get $100,000. Every single one of you guys get $100,000 if you guys don't fuck. None of you guys can fuck. You can't kiss. You can't jack off. You can't mess around. You can't do nothing. And if you do that, your $100,000 will be deducted. Yeah, and you guys got to pretty much. They said you guys have to get to know each other. Like you got to form a deep connection.
So I got to form a deep connection with one of these chicks, and at the end of the road, I get $100,000, and I get to pick the one that I want to have a deep connection with best.
No, I mean, you don't have to do nothing. You can just still get the $100,000. Like, you don't have to have a deep connection with anybody. You can just chill, keep your hands in your pants, and you can still get it. But then the people around you, like your group, they have to be on that same height.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, you could get it either way. Like, you could be low-key and just go to the side and chill by yourself. But for fuckery's sake, like, all I have to do is literally just get to know each one of these girls and then just pick one at the end.
Or just get one of them, yeah. The one that you really feel attracted. Yeah, but then they all fuck up. Because like all of them kids, money gets deducted. It's fuckery. And I loved it. It's like I'm telling you, Netflix, that was the holy trinity. It's The Circle, Love is Blind, and Too Hot to Handle. It's like
I'll eventually get to all that fuckery. Like, I'm at a point now where I agree. I'm not doing much of shit. I might as well binge it.
You and Larissa, I'm telling you, The Circle, Love is Blind, and this.
Yeah.
Now that I'm starting to get days off and shit.
Right.
You should take a nap, Martine. That's what you should do.
Nah, that's definitely what I'm gonna do for sure. But I mean, when I'm awake, I gotta do something else too.
Yeah.
Just a few more quick bits. We'll get to Insecure next week. This week really wasn't much for this week.
Insecure is gonna be on the back burner because fucking The Last Dance.
Well, I think it's just gonna be on the back burner because they got 2 extra episodes this season, so they're doing the same thing as Last Dance. They're building that up.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get to that every other week. Shout out to Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis because they're launching a quarantine wine where 100% of all the proceeds are going to be donated to COVID-19 relief causes.
Nice.
So shouts out to them. Round of applause to them.
They're married now?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're married, but they have a daughter together.
Oh, yeah, they're married. Him and Meg are married.
It's Jackie.
Yeah, I was going to say, man. It's Jackie.
That's Meg.
No, that's
I never
Jackie.
watched that. I never watched that 70s show, so she's Meg to me.
Oh, you missed out. You should binge that 70s show.
God.
Yeah, my cousin Isaiah told me the same shit. I know, but I'll watch it eventually.
Show. It's fucking hilarious.
It's on Hulu. I probably will.
Give it a shot. For real.
Let's see what else. I'm laughing at all the racist teens who got on TikTok and are surprised they have to be held accountable. That's just funny. Mm-hmm. I'll get into it next week because it's clearly too much and I actually want to talk about it. There's some beef going on around Prince's proteges. Apollonia has called out Sheila E. over some shit.
What? For what?
What?
Well, we might as well get into it because I can make it quick. Apollonia is saying that Prince has disowned Sheila E. for 5 years until he died. Like, she's now trying to be on the... she's just using this opportunity to just bring notice to herself because she's irrelevant. Yada, yada, yada. And when I had the conversation with my mom looked at me and she just said, Sheila E. had a whole career before Apollonia did, and she's full of shit because she's putting out a damn book herself talking about everything that Prince was doing behind the scenes. So who the hell is she?
So who's Apollonia, by the way? That's the stand name group?
Nah, Apollonia, because Vanity 6, that was Vanity. Apollonia was, was she in Purple Rain? It's
she was.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, it's past midnight. I like my mind.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know who they are. Yeah.
Yeah. But for the listeners, it's past midnight, so my mind's like, the shit I should know about Prince, like it's late. But yeah, so my mom's like, nah, fuck that. Like, she's wildin'. She goes, and excuse me, Sheila E. comes from Legacy. Like, her dad has been, like, she comes from a family that's been playing. Like, she's played with Santana and a who's who of names. Like, she was on the... Yeah, my mom clearly chose her. She dug a line in the sand. She was like, nah, I'm rocking with Sheila E. Apollonia, get out and kiss my ass. And I was like, all right.
Okay.
I'll relay your message on the podcast.
Kiss my ass. Right. Like Austin. like how Austin says that shit. I will whoop your ass. The way he says ass. It's funny.
Shout out to Wiz Khalifa, Kush and OJ. 10-year anniversary occurred.
Oh yeah, and also
that shit blew my fucking mind. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
and keeping it to the weed.
Like, what?
Yeah. And keeping it on weed. The Chronic is finally on all streaming platforms, including Tidal. Yep. Including Tidal. They have like a moving GIF of like a moving cover art of Dr. Dre on the title because it just shows Dre nodding his head.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
I didn't listen to it. Like I remember because it came out the same time on Saturday after the whole Teddy Riley shit. And I didn't listen to it. Number one, I was still mad, and I was like, I already have this album, and I already listened to it. I have the Dre beats. I know how this sounds.
Exactly.
Listen to it again.
Yeah. Now, Cushion OJ is special because like Martine was saying, when you actually think about, holy shit, it's been 10 years. I remember exactly where I was when I first downloaded the album and listened to it for the first time. And I listened to it on my way to start my shift at Blockbuster. Because at the time I was a supervisor. And so I had to open up the store. So I had a full hour to myself. Mm-hmm. I burned the CD. It was at a time where you could still burn CDs.
Yeah, kids.
Yeah, I burned the CD and I put it into the Blockbuster system. And I just played the joint from jump, and man, I fell in love with that project right away. Because see, that wasn't my first introduction to Wiz, so I'd already been a Wiz fan for a few years. That was just like, okay, now he's here now. I mean, he's out of here right now. Like, there's no going back. That's when I knew.
I mean, we talked about it on our decade list. You know, we already talked about it. Cushion OJ. So
yeah, just had to give it some love.
Give it some love. But anyway, this is episode 179. Yes, yep. 179 of the iLLogical Sense podcast. You could always follow us on the Twitter. Shout out to Mr. Fab at Mr. Busby4 lowercase 08. You can follow the Twitter at TLogicalSP. You can always follow us on the Instagram at the iLLogical Sense, and of course on the Facebook. Austin,
give me a hell yeah!
And of course on all social media, you can hit me up at JC shout out to everybody that's continued to check in for the playlists. I had a playlist last week. Martine's playlist for the 420. We kept that shit specifically for what was today, but you can still enjoy it all week because all month is 420. And congratulations, Martine. I fuck with the playlist. You did a hell of a job on it.
Thank you, sir.
For real, man. And also, I'm also glad you guys, all of y'all in the Bay Area stayed inside. You know, not those fucking dumbass protesters, but the majority of the potheads stayed inside, didn't go to Hippie Hill. Why y'all couldn't go to Hippie Hill? Because they locked it up. Because they know some of y'all motherfuckers are going to show up. So, yeah, they said they had that shit all locked up and chained up.
Well, I mean, they would have showed up. I promise you. Like, what you call it?
They had one. I saw a picture of one jackass sitting there with his phone out, like, "Oh damn, I can't get in. Oh damn, nigga, take your ass home." Shit, smoking home like you do every damn day.
Home and enjoying Netflix.
For real.
Isn't that what y'all do anyway, you potheads? Shit.
Hey, come on, man.
I mean, yeah, get your shit off, Martine.
You already know, man. Follow me at Beats Be Killing Them on all social medias, on all your digital streaming platforms. Search Venomous, spelled VNMS.
Yup.
And man, I already dropped 3 tracks. I was thinking about dropping another one, maybe 2, but nah, you'll get some remastered shit on the you get some remastered shit on this little compilation. It's got the 3 songs I put together and 2 remasters.
Shout out my little cousin Nate, and you putting him on another track.
Oh yes, sir.
Oh yeah, and one other shout out, my boy Anonymous, that dude. He dropped his album Duffel Bag Diaries. Really great album. Pretty much one of my best. I guess one of his best works. Forgot to mention that shit. That's how tired I am. It's a great album. Yeah. Really great album. Great beats. Great everything.
I still gotta get to it this week.
Yeah, but on that note, we're gonna smoke some weed and go to sleep.
Give me a hell yeah!
Peace.